Reportedly missed multiple weeks after he suffered a hamstring injury in their loss to Atlanta yesterday. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network is reporting that Dak will get a second opinion, but the injury is worse than initially feared. CeeDee Lamb has a sprained AC joint. He does have a chance to play on Sunday. And the Spurs will be without Gregg Popovich indefinitely. He has health issues, we're told.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. He's the birthday boy.
Oh, man.
I'm Jason Minix.
I don't know. Here we go. I don't know if we remember that stuff when you get to be my age. It's kind of like just a Monday.
Well, it is a Monday, and the Cowboys gave you the gift because you love having low-hanging fruit, and there's plenty of it for you to chew on right now.
Wow, there's no. You're not kidding about that. Poor Mike McCarthy throwing things around on the sideline. You got Zeke Elliott not showing up for meetings and being late for stuff. He gets suspended. Ought to be cut today. And then Dak Prescott. Little hamstring pull. Here we go.
You know, it's so predictable with the Dallas Cowboys, almost like the video that you have up on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram page. I think we all knew that Dak was going to run the ball a lot more against Atlanta. Yes. I was looking on my underdog at fantasy for my pick'em entry, and they had Dak at, I forget what it was, 5.5 yards. Go higher.
5.5.
I think that's what it was.
Wow.
Well, based on his average, he hasn't done that. Yet the guy gets hurt from throwing inside the pocket. He got hurt in the pocket, not running, but in the pocket is where he got hurt.
Well, it was all that running he did prior because, his old body just can't handle it anymore.
And we're not talking about you.
Oh, yeah, well, I pulled my hammy getting out of bed. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Wow. I don't know. The Cowboys and Jerry again comes out. Normally, he doesn't talk after games on the road.
No, it's the first time he has spoken after a road game this year.
But he does, and he feels bad for the fans.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad. Glad he feels bad for the fans. We've got plenty of Cowboy talk today, but more concerning, the news out of the Spurs organization today, where it was announced that Pop did not even travel with the team to Los Angeles for their game tonight. He's already been ruled out of the game Wednesday against Houston. Shams Charania says Pop suffered health issues before Saturday's game. Now, I was at the beach on Saturday, got some updates, some text messages, and by all indications, the word Saturday was Pop didn't feel well.
Yeah.
Couple hours before the game, no big deal. And I don't think anybody was alarmed. A lot of people have been dealing with an illness, the cold that's been going around. Hell, Wemby had it. This is seemingly a lot more concerning because you're dealing with a guy that is 75 years old.
Yes.
And you're also dealing with the Spurs who give zero indication as to what is actually going on, which leads to all kinds of speculation. I've had more friends today that I've talked to that know somebody that cut somebody's hair that knows somebody, talking about it could be this and it could be that, and we have no idea, so we're not going to speculate here on the Blitz, and I understand everybody's need for privacy when you're dealing with some sort of health issue, but when you're in the public eye like that, there could be a little bit more detail just to have an idea, is this overly concerning or just something that, he might need a week or two.
Yeah, and I think, the fans obviously are going to be concerned for Gregg Popovich, obviously. But, it would be kind of nice if we knew something. Like, well, he's out. We don't have to know what it is or what he's being treated for, any of that kind of stuff. But, hey, just he's going to be okay. He just needs a couple of days off or a week off or whatever the case may be, but he's going to be just fine.
Well, again, think about anything that you go through, that I go through, or, depending on the age of your parents, because he's not that much younger than my mother, the idea that, it could be anything, right? And, from a fan standpoint, an idea of what it might be, and yes, the doctors say about a week or these 2 games, but when you get the Shams Charania out indefinitely, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Does that mean these 2 games, or he'll be back in January if he's back at all? I mean, the idea of, how bad is it? And partly, we're sports fans. We get all kinds of injury updates on everything. He is the coach, but then also the amount of other responses that you see on social media, it's way too soon to start thinking about who the successor is going to be, because we have no idea if it's at that level or not. But that's on the Spurs that could easily put some of those fires out.
They could, and people are going to speculate. They're going to, like you said, people that know this guy or that guy or a cousin of, that guy or whatever it is are going to say everything that they want. And I just hope it's okay. Look, I would assume he's obviously not coaching tonight. I would assume he's not going to coach in Houston. And then so maybe when the Spurs come back home, he'll be back on the sidelines. But you're right, we don't know. And I'm not going to speculate because I don't. I've heard some things. You've heard some things. But, I mean, nothing is written in stone, and I don't want to say one way or the other.
Far consistent with the different things that we both are hearing with the various friends that we know, except for I don't think that it is overly serious, like it's not of grave concern. But again, anytime you're dealing with somebody at that age, that's always a concern. I mean, Rob Thompson is the one that told me, and I kind of feel this now that I'm over 50. If it's before 50, it's, oh, man, that's sad. After 50, well, you've had a good run. and that's the thing is, I mean, we're at the age where you have friends that just leave us. And, it's like, man, didn't see that one coming. So that's where I wish the Spurs would be a little bit more open with what is actually going on.
Well, and again, it may not be the Spurs. It may be Pop saying, I don't want, don't say anything about anything. This is the way it is, and so who knows?
I hate to say it, though, but when you're in the public eye like that, you kind of lose that ability.
When has Gregg Popovich ever lost that ability?
I mean, he's the one exception, but what happens are all the rumors that you have going around. And I can tell you this, when it comes to Pop's health, Twitter is probably the last place you want to go for anything factual.
Absolutely. There, because you never know who's writing it, and yes, don't go there. But if we hear something that we feel like is credible and reportable, then we'll do that. But until then, we're kind of the same boat as you guys are, and we'll see. Maybe the Spurs will come out later and say something about it.
And again, just an idea of here's an actual timeline, nothing major, go from there. And for the the immediate, well, who's going to be the permanent replacement is just stop.
Well, and again, I've seen things. You talk about Twitter. I've seen things on Twitter. It's the political season, and people, they're getting on Pop for his political comments and things of that nature. And so there's just all kinds of things floating around. Look, I hope Gregg Popovich is going to be just fine, and I hope he's okay. And whatever he's dealing with, I wish him a speedy recovery.
Well, that's it. And I kind of look at some of the comments that I've seen today, and or the various direct messages on the post that I had.
Yes.
I don't care if you agree with Pop politically, disagree with Pop politically. Some of the things I've seen is kind of like cheering for injury. You just don't do that.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
No. No.
That we disagree, or if you disagree with Pop, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that we need anything bad to happen to him or anybody else that you may disagree with.
No. It's kind of like talking about Dak Prescott. Well, it's actually complete opposite, because we'll agree to disagree on Dak. Should he have gotten paid? It doesn't matter. He did. And now he's hurt. Cowboys lose again, and they look bad doing it.
Wow.
Let's talk about the lost season that is. because at the halfway point, they're officially done. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
This is the second time in a row where Rob has conveniently forgotten his wallet the day that we go get lunch.
I didn't suggest lunch today, though.
We do lunch almost every Wednesday.
I'd forgotten the day.
They brought us our checks, and then Rob, hey, one of you guys is going to have to cover this. I don't have my wallet.
Oh, man.
And I said, wait a minute, that's exactly what you said last week.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. Country boy is all I'll ever be. The American As It Gets Tour. February 6th, Majestic Theater. Am I the only one? Tickets on sale now at MajesticEmpire.com. Take a bullet for being more free at AaronLewisMusic.com. I'm American as it gets. Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. American As It Gets Tour.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Chiefs Buccaneers should be a good Monday night game tonight, presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Gets going at 6:30 here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix here on the Blitz. Cowboys lose to the Falcons, and they lose Dak Prescott for what looks like several weeks in the process.
They do, and CeeDee Lamb hurt as well, although his doesn't appear to be too serious. He actually has a shot at playing this week. But obviously, the injuries have been devastating to the Cowboys. There's no question about it.
And reasons or excuses, either way, you don't really have much of a chance if you don't have Dak Prescott out there. And
I don't know. I thought Cooper Rush looked pretty good yesterday.
We'll get into that. You look at Dak has the longest run of the season by a Cowboy player at 22 yards. That happened in the game. Yet he hurts the hamstring in the pocket and says it was a feeling that he's never had before.
Got to get it looked at. Felt it, I guess the third play that I was in there on the little scramble to the left. Felt it, didn't think much of it, to be honest with you. And then the next play, throwing that the stop route to the field, pulled something. I guess felt a pull or felt something I've never felt. Tough to walk on it at that point. Saw the medical team and asked, could I make it worse? At that point, they said I wouldn't be able to protect myself, and they made the call to hold me out.
So actually started the process scrambling and then finished it off in the pocket. So, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but Cooper Rush came in, 2 years ago when Dak was hurt and he held down the fort. Problem is, Cooper Rush had a few more weapons back then, and he's got nobody right now. So
and Cooper didn't look bad yesterday.
I didn't think he looked bad at all, quite frankly. I mean, he led a touchdown drive.
He did. But here's the thing with Cooper coming in, and you've got a great video up on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram at SA Sports Star.
You really think it's great, Jason?
Not really. Well, it's great if you like tomatoes being thrown at you. It's just your love of Dak Prescott is on full display.
Yes.
I mean, they could have literally brought in a tomato canner. Who was the Saints defensive lineman that said, let me play quarterback, I'll be at least entertaining? I mean, maybe, but the reality is you're right. Cooper did come in, stats-wise, worse than Dak to a degree. Dak was 18 of 24. He was efficient on the day. 133 yards, although sacked 3 times by an Atlanta team who had 6 entire sacks on the season.
Unbelievable.
Coming in, it just tells you how bad the offensive line is. Cooper was 13 of 25 for 115 yards and a touchdown. But there is something about when Cooper came in, they were running the 2-minute offense. And the Cowboys have looked good all year in their 2-minute offense. The idea, I mean, you go back and you think about the games like last week against San Francisco in that fourth quarter comeback where they made it interesting, although I don't think any of us thought they were actually going to win that game. But in the 2-minute, whether it was Pittsburgh, whether it was San Francisco, Atlanta yesterday, their 2-minute offense is pretty damn good, which makes you wonder why they don't do it more. But I still was getting angry, not at what Cooper was doing or not doing, but when they kept showing Trey Lance on the sideline. And I kept thinking to myself, how bad is Trey Lance that he can't beat out Cooper Rush? And I really thought that when Cooper Rush tried that little zone read, and luckily the ball bounced right back to him, and then he fell down because that guy can barely walk, let alone run.
Yeah, he's Peyton Manning reincarnated. I think he can't run at all. I mean,
I don't know that I would go Peyton Manning in any kind of comparison to Cooper Rush.
Running ability only. Yes, running ability only.
That was embarrassing. And then they show Trey Lance on the sideline with his headpiece in. Like, dude, I know they couldn't put him in the game yesterday because of the rules, unless, I don't know, hey, Cooper, go out there and fake an injury, because then Trey can come in. At least see what you have with this guy, because maybe you could trade him.
There's been a lot of people today from the Dallas area and that cover the Cowboys as to, why not? The season's pretty much done, right? You're 3-5. I mean, it's a roll of the dice, because if he stinks up the place, you're not going to get anything. But if you just let the season end, you're not going to get anything either.
No.
So, because he's not going to be here next year. So, let him play. Maybe he plays well. And somebody sees him and says, well, maybe, he can help us.
I just look at this entire team, and I've been saying it for more than a week now, but you kind of go back to the offseason. Their front office inactivity is now seemingly borderline malpractice by Jerry Jones and the crew. But they didn't put a winning roster together this year. This season was not about winning. However you want to look at it, it's not a tank. It's not a rebuild because they've got a high-priced quarterback. Doesn't matter if you think they should have paid him or not. He's paid, so he's there in no trade clause. You're not moving on from him. They have a high-priced wide receiver. So is it about getting through this year and maybe clearing the books with some of the other older talent and at the same time get experience for young guys? I want to say it sounds like a sneaky smart plan, but it's Jerry Jones. So, and then Jerry yesterday wanted to talk about there could be something at the trade deadline. They would be foolish right now to invest more into this roster, especially if Dak is going to miss several weeks, knowing they've got Philadelphia coming up, and the Eagles, despite their dumb head coach, they're making strides. Man, he made some bonehead decisions yesterday that almost cost him against Jacksonville. Then you get Houston. Then you get Washington. And then finally you get the Giants on Thanksgiving, which might be their next win.
Well, yeah, that very well could be. Look, I'm with some of the other crowd. I mean, why not play Trey Lance? Why not see what you've got? Now, going into the Philadelphia game, maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't. You try to win that game, and because Dak said so yesterday at the we've got a lot of division games coming up, so maybe you play Cooper Rush against the Eagles and see what happens there. But if you lose that game, look, you're already 3 games back of both Washington and Philadelphia right now, or 3 and 2.5, however it plays out. You're in trouble, right? I mean, you are in trouble unless you beat those teams head-to-head, and I don't think there's anybody on planet Earth that watches the Cowboys right now that thinks they can beat Philadelphia or Washington at all.
Now, when it comes to Philadelphia this Sunday, in fact, if you want to win tickets to that game, we've got some. Just go register at DallasCowboys or at SASportsStar.com for your chance to win those Dallas Cowboys tickets. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. Who's going to stop Saquon? Who's hurdling people backwards? I mean, honestly.
That was incredible.
Saquon, he might go for 200 this week. I mean, Jalen Hurts might not have to throw 15 passes this week, although Sirianni could figure out a way to screw this thing up. Like going for 2 when it could be 17-0. Instead, it's 16-0. I don't know what chart he's looking at, but he's a very confused coach. But with Saquon Barkley and the Cowboys' inability to stop the run, even if Micah Parsons does come back this week, I don't know how they beat Philadelphia.
I don't know how they beat Philadelphia either. That secondary is banged up, and they got torched yesterday on a couple of occasions. Kirk Cousins didn't look bad at all. And they've got a couple of pretty good wide receivers that wear Philadelphia green.
I'm just worried about stopping the run.
Well,
I mean, Diggs won't know who to cover. Did you see that video of Trayvon Diggs?
Yes.
I wonder if he's gonna. Who was that? Acho that pointed that out? Is he gonna yell at Acho about not knowing football? You know, on that one touchdown pass when dude was wide open.
He was confused.
Yeah, that was Diggs' guy.
Yeah, he was confused.
It was the only one that was confused. And you're making the most money out there. You're supposed to be the best player, and you're the one that seemed lost. Now, I'm sure Diggs will probably tell you somebody else was lined up wrong, and he didn't know where to go. But he was the one confused and left his guy wide open and then is yelling at everybody.
You know, I sincerely wonder, and a guy like Diggs, now, he makes a lot of money, but why not be a seller? The trade deadline, at least throw some of these guys' names out there. And you know, you don't have to do it publicly, but Jerry or Steven can make a call and say, hey, you need a corner. Trayvon's available for the right price. Or, you know what? You need a pass rusher. I mean this in all sincerity. You'd have to get a big price for him. But what's wrong with dangling Micah Parsons out there?
You know, I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at it at all, and I think it might be one way to get the Cowboys back sooner rather than later.
Now, granted, we all look at Micah Parsons and think he's going to be he is going to be the highest paid defensive player. That doesn't mean Jerry has to write that check. And what do you get in return for a Micah Parsons? That becomes the biggest question. Because if you're Dallas and you're looking at no Dak for whatever you determine several weeks is, let's just say the rest of the season. because if they lose the next 3 or 4, why would you bring him back? That offensive line is awful. That offensive line is so bad. You go back and you look at that touchdown pass that Dak threw to Rico, and the only guy that won on the offensive line was Tyler Smith. Everybody else, including Zach Martin, was blown off the ball and in the backfield. And Dak's ability to somehow survive that and throw the touchdown pass is incredible, but that play was made because the offensive line is that bad. So if the season gets to the point where you know you're not making the playoffs, why would you even bring Dak Prescott back? I know he's a competitor and wants to play, but to your point, you want to rebuild this thing. And if Jerry's worried about how you're going to pay everybody, if you can move a Micah Parsons right now, I don't know that I would be against it if you've got enough in return. Same thing with Diggs. You could clear the books on some of these guys and get either picks and or players in return. It's a lot and we talked about this in the summer when it was, how do you pay all 3 of these?
Right.
You know, they weren't set up to move on from Dak Prescott because they don't have another quarterback in the system, and you have no idea about free agency and you have no idea about drafts. So without a plan in place, they had to sign Dak Prescott. You can mask not having a Micah Parsons a lot easier than you can not having a quarterback or a top-flight receiver, although the way receivers are in college right now, you could probably find another receiver pretty quick, although I'm not unhappy that CeeDee was signed. I mean, you look at different defensive stars that have been traded, and it does happen. If you could get something in return that is worthy of what is going to be the highest paid defensive player and a defensive player of the year type candidate, I'm not mad at that if they're entertaining those calls. You can't let them go for a 4th or a 5th round pick.
Well, no, of course not.
You're going to have to get, but we're talking about Jerry. So, but
you got to get a first round pick, or at least that's what you ask for right off the bat. You have to. Now, let me just ask you this. I want Micah to come back, and I'll tell you why. If the Cowboys are going to trade him, I don't think they'll trade him before the trade deadline, but if you're talking about maybe in the offseason, before you have to pay this guy, or you pay him and whatever you're going to do, because look, I'll be honest with you, this year, and it's been this way with a lot of what has Micah Parsons done?
Wow.
He's done nothing.
I mean, nobody's done anything this year except Brandon
saying,
Aubrey.
I'm not sure what Micah did last year. What kind of year did he have last year?
He was pretty damn incredible last year.
Was he really?
Yes, he really was.
Okay.
He really was.
Okay.
You know, put the podcast aside and just,
just saying.
I mean, he's that guy. And, you know, I mean, the fact that this defense is so bad under Zimmer, it's flashbacks of Mike Nolan and Mike McCarthy's first year. And to make matters seem even that much worse is seeing how well Washington is playing, how well prepared Washington seems to be, how well coached they seem to be as compared to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, last year that Cowboys defense started to show a lot of holes in that ship when Leighton Vander Esch got hurt. And so I get, because we were a part of it too, the what's going on with this Dan Quinn defense. But seeing what's happening in Washington, Dan Quinn was taking a lot of arrows that maybe he shouldn't have.
Well, not only defensively as a coordinator, but the guy's obviously pretty talented as a head coach. I mean, he did take Atlanta to the Super Bowl, by the way. So, I mean, he's pretty good there, and he's turned that team around. Now, granted, they struck gold with Jaden Daniels, and the guy's playing incredible. But everybody's playing incredible.
Well, that's it. And, again, I look at a lot of the players that the Cowboys let walk out the building, and I still look at them and say, that Cowboys could have kept all those guys if they wanted to, because they were all guys that you thought, all right, but they didn't replace any of them. That's the biggest problem, because Jerry wanted these young players to get experience, which kind of reinforces this year wasn't about winning. It never was, because he invested nothing into this year's roster. It wasn't there. Tyler Biadasz, I know he's playing well in Washington. Seeing what's going on with the offensive line, is he better than we thought? I mean, Terrence hasn't been near as good. Terrence Steele.
He's been horrible.
Although the last 3 games, I mean, you go back to Detroit, they had that Hutchinson guy before he got hurt, T.J. Watt and the Bosa guy. He's also been going against 3 of the best in the league the last 3 weeks, and they've not given him any help whatsoever. He didn't play bad yesterday. One of the reasons he didn't play as bad yesterday is he wasn't going against a guy who's got a chance to get a gold jacket. Although, collectively, that offensive line gave up 3 sacks to a team that had 6 sacks coming into the game. On the year they had 6. They got 3 yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what Jerry's motives were this year or what he's trying to do, but I have to believe he was upset and he wasn't going to do a damn thing, knowing that I don't think he wanted to sign Dak Prescott. I really don't. I think he wanted Trey Lance to be something he wasn't. So I just believe it all fell apart for Jerry. What he was trying to do, what he was hoping that he would do, and the whole thing is just collapsing before his eyes. And it's just been a disaster to watch. But I don't know what the answer is. There are so many problems with this team. You trade a Micah Parsons and you get something, it's still a rebuild.
Well,
you're not coming back next year. I don't care who your quarterback is.
Well, I mean, see, that's it. I don't know. You can call it a rebuild when you have the most important position locked up.
Yeah, well, you've got him locked up this year, and with no talent, you see what he's doing. Nothing.
And now he's hurt. But that's what I mean. If you've got that piece, getting rebuilt shouldn't take as long as if you were searching for a quarterback. So many different ways to go at the trade deadline. Then you get the drama with Zeke. You guys play general manager. You're Jerry Jones. In the next 24 hours, which way are you going? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Huddle, how did the Spurs fare in their road trip out to L.A.?
Further fallout from the Cowboys' loss. We'll talk about it all, but you got to get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What's with the outfit, Nigel?
This is my hunting attire, complete with my bright red jacket, hunting horn.
Whoa, Nigel. Hunting is a little different here in Texas.
And like hunting, plumbing, heating, and air conditioner repairs are all about skill and having the right equipment.
And all our Quarter Moon technicians with a fleet of fully stocked trucks know what to do when plumbing, heat, and AC issues pop up out of nowhere. Where'd you go?
I can't get my horse down from the deer blind.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 651-5899.
License number TNCLA 141074E and 16004. When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze Fabric Spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
JCPenney has more gifts, bigger savings for every holiday wish list. Celebrate the season that never stops giving. From denim to diamonds, PJs to perfume, and mixers to massagers, we're giving you more options than ever at a value that helps you give a little extra. Looking for more bright ideas? We've got the big brands everyone wants. From Levi's to Legos, there's more to love for them and you. All the deals, all the feels, all the gifts to go around. JCPenney. Make it count.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Should I keep it live?
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. In about an hour, UIW receiver Jalen Walthall is going to join us here on the Blitz. He had a touchdown celebration that actually got flagged in the Cardinals' homecoming win over HCU on Saturday. They blew him out. He stood on his head, celebrated. Then you saw that a couple of times in the NFL yesterday. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So we'll talk to Jalen coming up at 3:35.
I thought it was great. And what was it? Amon-Ra St. Brown did it. And somebody else did it. I thought it was great. It's awesome.
Yeah,
little pub for UIW.
Yeah, Drake London in the Cowboys game.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Detroit, dude.
They look good.
Wow.
They continue to roll. Somebody I know, Reinagel, picked the Packers to win that game.
I did. I changed my mind midstream.
Yeah. Wait. It's always a bad idea to change your mind midstream.
Well, you can't stop that thing midstream, that's for sure. So,
nor can you change your picks after the games have started.
I wish I wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Dadgummit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, stuff happens. I don't think I did very well this week.
What else is new?
I don't know. Did y'all?
I did better than you.
Well, okay. It's early.
It's after the midway point.
It's early.
I think the games that I lost were probably the same games that you lost. I don't know. I think I gained. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. Pledge always tallies up the scores. He keeps He's into it. And when he wins, he lets us all know early and like on Sunday night.
He doesn't look happy.
When he doesn't do well, we don't hear from him, and it's like one of those things. Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah. So how'd we do, Pledge? You've added them all up?
I haven't, but I'm looking at it right now.
Well, because both of you guys took what, Penn State?
No, I took Ohio State.
Okay, so you were smart there. You took Ohio State.
Penn State.
We both took
first and goal at the 3.
We both all three of us took
Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about UTSA
well,
proving us wrong?
Happy to be wrong there for sure.
There was another game. Oh, the Aggie game.
Oh.
Ugh is right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh.
Ugh. That was ugly.
They got manhandled. I mean, physically got manhandled. Watch that game, and it was just it was a physical beatdown.
It was, and they've lost their running back Moss for the rest of the year. And I'll tell you what, we should have all changed our picks after our conversation with Andrew Monaco on Friday. He said at one point, I would like this game a lot more if it was an 11 a.m. or 2:30 kick, but playing at South Carolina at night's another animal.
That stadium was crazy.
It was rocking.
It was.
That looks like now on the bucket list. I got to go watch a game there because that looked like it was a party all the way through. Unless, of course, you were an A&M fan, and I was at a party featuring a bunch of A&M fans. Technology is wonderful. A beach weekend, you get out there Saturday, you've got TVs on the beach, you're able to watch all the games and enjoy the beach. And when that A&M game started, and there were a lot of Aggies at this party, say the mood changed, but the drinking was heavy and for a different reason.
Not celebratory, but to drown their sorrows.
Although in typical Aggie fashion, I expected this. You just knew this was going to happen. You knew this was going to happen.
Battered Aggie syndrome.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
It was on full display.
Battered Aggie syndrome. Well, I was gambling Saturday night, but took some time out to watch that Aggie game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was a beatdown, that's for sure.
It was a beatdown. All right, so Pledge is putting our scores up from the week. Pledge went 5-5. Joe went 5-5. Minix went 6-4.
So you see, I mean,
I gained another game on everybody.
That's fine. Nobody set the world on fire was my point.
Yeah, but I've got a 10 or 11 game lead on you to begin with.
And if I wouldn't have changed my mind midstream, like an idiot, every time you do that, you lose. It's just karma. You got to stick with what you think first. Don't change your mind.
Well, I think most of the time you should put your picks down on paper and then go reverse on all of them. And you would still be 5-5.
So what do I want, 5-5?
Sure.
Hell, I picked the Cowboys to win.
You did.
And I thought this was a game for the Cowboys to go get things right. Atlanta, they're good, but they're not great. Their defense isn't that great. They only had 6 sacks coming in. I thought this was a good game for the offensive line. I thought this would be a good game to get that running game going because they can't stop the run. Thought this is going to be a great Zeke game. And apparently Zeke didn't even get on the plane. Not apparently, he didn't get on the plane because he was late for meetings.
You know, I don't know. I guess he's butthurt, right? Because he's not getting the carries that he wants. That's the only thing I think of. So he's throwing a temper tantrum, and the Cowboys should just cut him right now. Just cut him. Let him go. He's not making any money.
He's not. What I don't get, because it feels like this has been building with everything that we've heard over the weekend. Jane Slater with a ton of tweets that he's not happy, late for meetings, has missed some meetings. But you go back and you think about Zeke in his career. He is a pro and used to go to meetings early, used to go to the early quarterback meeting just to have a better understanding of everything going on with the organization. So you could tell he's a little disgruntled with his role. Remember there was that blow up a couple weeks ago. He didn't really say anything bad, but clearly there was something going on, whether this was the quote-unquote final straw for Mike McCarthy. Hearing Jerry on the Cowboys pregame radio show, it's like, yeah, we had to discipline him, but we love the guy. And, he's always been good, but in this case, what are we going to do? So he didn't make the trip. Mike McCarthy trying to very politically correctly explain the Zeke situation.
Yeah, I mean, Zeke's situation was, clearly a team discipline situation, and that's, we'll pick up Monday and see where we are.
See, here's the thing. If I'm going to discipline Zeke, I don't leave him home. I make him go and watch that crap. I make him go and play in that crap or not play. Letting him stay home and giving him a free weekend off, that's not punishment.
Well, it must have been more serious than all of that. That's what I'm saying. He must have thrown a fit. There had to be something, warnings or whatever. And if he's not with the team, I can't imagine he's with the team next week. I just don't. And, I don't know what's going on with him, but I don't know what he expected, quite frankly, or what he was sold. You come back here, you're the guy, we're going to give you these carries, you're going to be a huge part of the offense, and he just hasn't been. And one reason, because he hasn't earned it. He hasn't played well. None of the running backs have. Rico had a pretty decent day yesterday, I thought. Wasn't bad. Ran the football okay. The Cowboys that may be one of the best of the season running the football.
Well, it wasn't the Pittsburgh game, but I think part of that's the damn play calling. I mean, he had, 12 carries in the game?
Yep.
75 yards? He was running the ball well. Zeke, Dalvin, they're both the same. None of us understood why they brought him back in the first place. And you're getting less than we all thought we were going to get from Zeke. And Zeke might be the only guy that realizes he doesn't have it anymore.
Could be, and that's why he's upset. That's why he's throwing a fit. I mean, look, he and Dak Prescott are really good friends. I mean, they're good friends, and even Dak has a hard time understanding what's going on with Zeke.
Definitely a difficult situation. Me personally, being as close as I am with them, wanting to help, and I think this, if anything, this it'll be good. And I say that as obviously it was a mutual decision for him to not take this trip. Whether it's as he had said, just getting himself together, and I'd like to just see us rally around him, be the teammates and the brothers that we are, and good will come from it.
All right.
I don't understand that at all.
When was the last time a mutual decision was it? I hear that mutual decision. How does that go? Zeke, we're not going to take you. Okay. I don't know how else is that mutual, or if he's just that upset with his role, thinking he can do more. And part of me thinks a competitor feels that they could do more, give him more opportunities. Part of me, I mean, we've all seen it. I mean, is he the only one that doesn't? It's BS to say it was a mutual decision for him to not go. He either said, screw you guys, I'm not going. And they were like, okay, take the weekend off because you need to talk to your agent about the financial implications if you quit, because you can't do that. Now, we can fire you, but you can't quit. Mutual BS. I mean, every mutual decision started with somebody saying, I got an idea.
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
You probably aren't going on this trip.
Well, it's just listening to Dak. We need to rally around him. Is there something else going on? Is there something happening in his life? Is he just, mentally not there? Something. But when Dak says we need to rally around him, that tells me that there's something going on that we don't know about. It's not just poor performance. It's not just missing meetings. There's something maybe in his personal life, or if he's that distraught over his inactivity on the offense, maybe that's got him screwed up in the head. But there's something else going on when I hear Dak Prescott say we need to rally around him.
And again, all spaghetti on the wall right now. But maybe there's somebody that wanted to bring Zeke back. I'm guessing that guy's name is Jerry. Maybe there was somebody else that really didn't want to have him back. His name is Mike. And while Mike can't control who's on the roster, he can control who's on the field and who's getting snaps. And maybe that's where the disagreement is, as what was Zeke thinking when he came back his role was going to be? Because, a couple weeks ago when he was asked about his role, he said, I don't know, you got to ask the coaches. I mean, I can't imagine Zeke came back for this, right?
No, he didn't. There's no way.
But when we've seen him, it's not like he's been great. I mean, we haven't even seen flashes of what we remembered. We haven't even seen real flashes of what he was last year with the Patriots. And I think a big part of that is the offensive line. The next part of that, the number of reps that he's getting. Maybe with the trade deadline, there's some rumblings in the building that Jerry's looking at a running back, which could certainly affect his role, maybe in a way that would mean he wouldn't be on the team anymore. Now, that could all change with this new injury news, but Jerry did say yesterday afterwards that there were some things in the mill.
We could, yes. It takes to tango, but we've got some things in the mill.
See, I don't know if I believe Jerry or not. We're all in. And we didn't have a clue as to what that was, and we got some things in the mill. Well, you got a week, right? Trade deadline's a week.
No, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, right?
It's tomorrow.
Okay. Well, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if they're in the mill, they better get done really quick.
Well, I mean, and that's, I'll go back to what Stephen Jones told us on the Blitz on Thursday. Everything's got to fit. If the deal is right. We all know how Jerry and Stephen like to do things. They don't like to overpay. So they've got to find somebody willing to give something a quality. If I'm Jerry and Stephen, I'm selling at this trade deadline. I am not buying on this trade deadline.
What do you have to sell, though? That's the problem.
I've got a Micah Parsons for sale. I've got a Trayvon Diggs for sale. I've got a Zach Martin for sale. I've got a Zeke for sale. I mean, basically, I got a lot of pieces and parts. If you're looking for something, if I can get quality in return, I got a Trey Lance. Even though I won't have another quarterback for a while, I can go find, where's Will Greer? Is he available? Who's the guy that sells hats? Danucci. I can go find somebody else to take snaps while Dak is out if I can get something for Trey Lance. In all seriousness, no, I'm selling. I'm selling at this point. We are at the halfway point of the NFL season, and the Cowboys, we've all known they aren't a Super Bowl contending team. I thought maybe a playoff team this year, maybe. They're not even that. So at this point, start working on next year's roster now. Let the young kids play, get the experience, do all the penalties and all the dumb stuff we've seen them doing over the first several weeks of this season. I wouldn't try to make a trade right now and give up any of my draft assets that I covet so much. If you know how the Cowboys are, they covet their draft picks. Why would you give up a pick in next year's draft for something to help this year's roster? There is no helping this year's roster at the trade deadline.
One player is not going to help this team. They just have too many other problems. So you'd have to make a lot of trades and do a lot of things that they're just not capable of doing. One, you bring in a running back, okay. That's not going to help this team. Not with that offensive line.
Well,
you bring in a pass rusher. That's not going to help this team, especially if you're getting Micah Parsons back. You're right. You either sell or you do nothing because you don't want to bring anybody in right now.
I might make a move for a running back.
Why?
If that running back has more than this year left on their deal, because that might give me a head start on next year, especially if it's a running back that you looked at before that for whatever reason you couldn't get, because that would help next year's team. Although I've got to know, does my next coach like said running back? Because
there's the other problem. You're going to have a different coaching staff in here next year.
Yep.
So I don't think you make a trade for anybody long term. The Cowboys they're in a no-win situation. You eat this season the way that it is, like they're most likely going to get beat next week, probably the next 3. I mean, honestly. So
well, and again, Jerry can talk all he wants about being all in on trades.
Well, we're gonna do everything we can at all times to improve this team, and in our judgment, if what you have to give up helps improve it, we'll do it. I know everybody understands. I don't think I have to say it, but we'll go for it.
Well, you'll go for it, my ass. Will you play the beginning part of that again, Pledge?
Well, man, ladies, we're gonna do everything we can at all times.
Oh, at all times. What the hell were they doing in March, in April, in May, in June, and July to help this team? Nothing.
Well, Jerry was still upset in March and April, in May, in June, in July about the debacle that happened on his home field against the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs, when he thought, like I did, like you did, things were set up perfectly to go. He was upset. He was throwing his Zeke fit at that time. And again, it took a long time to sign CeeDee and Dak. I think he was forced to sign Dak. The plan was hope he had something else, and he didn't. And you even put a Derrick Henry, and I'm sick of the Derrick Henry thing. Derrick Henry's not Derrick Henry on this football team.
He's not.
He's not. He's not half of it. He landed in the perfect spot for him. And sometimes you got to be thankful for
I would take
things
half
that don't
of Derrick
go your
Henry
way.
right now over what the Cowboys have.
I'd be afraid poor Derrick would.
So you're saying Derrick Henry in Dallas would be the reason he didn't have any other offers?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, perfect situation.
Derrick wanted to come to Dallas. He at least wanted to talk to the Cowboys,
Mhm.
and they didn't talk to him. So, but
they couldn't afford
long
him.
gone.
Yeah,
they couldn't afford him. Yeah, I know.
Candy Lee. You think I'm an idiot?
Candy Lee.
Who is Candy Lee?
Next up on the main stage, Candy Lee.
Uh-huh.
She's a hard worker. She works hard for her money.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Candy Lee.
At least we have an idea of what you would like for your birthday.
No, I don't want a Candy Lee. I think that was a flashback from Jerry of 50 years ago.
Candy Lee.
Candy Lee. That was quite a night. He was bouncing them things all around. I gave her lots of money. That's
going to let you keep going here.
Yeah.
What else is going to just pop in your mind and come out of your mouth?
Let's see.
Oh, my goodness. Man. You know, as a broadcaster of a lot of high school football games, and I think everybody hates weather delays. Navy and Rice had like a 5-hour weather delay. There's video as to why you want to clear the field. We'll talk about it coming up. Some poor soccer player not with us anymore because of lightning during a game. They kept playing. He's no longer here. The video is wild.
Wow.
We'll talk about it coming up on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's talk a little Stevens Roofing first, though, before we go to break. I've been talking about Stevens Roofing for a long time now. Family-owned company, local company, and, well, your roof covers your home. It covers your family. Everything that you hold dear. You need a reliable roofer you can trust. Stevens Roofing is that reliable roofer, and they can do any kind of project, commercial, residential, metal, composition, doesn't matter what you want, what you need. They are here to take care of you. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio, and estimates are always free when you call them at 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and just about everybody else on the planet looking to save a little bit of money, and you've been thinking about going solar, well, Stevens Roofing can help you out there as well. In fact, solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They often increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on when the grid goes down. That's important these days. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered, so give them a call, 210-785-0994.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Settling in after 2 on the road. The Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is home cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8th, 2025 if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at Robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodities interest can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Displayed prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. Learn more at Robinhood.com/election.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott reportedly will miss multiple weeks after he suffered a hamstring injury in their loss to Atlanta yesterday. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network says he's going to get a second opinion, but the injury worse than initially feared. CeeDee Lamb has a sprained AC joint. He does have a chance to play on Sunday. The Cowboys will face the Eagles. Texas A&M running back Le'Veon Moss will miss the rest of the season with a leg injury. Mike Elko said so today.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. It's his birthday. I'm Jason Minix.
Wow. Those things come around once a year, don't they?
They do.
Whether you want them or not.
You wanted to celebrate like a sorority girl. You wanted cupcakes and balloons.
Yeah, I don't see any.
I didn't get any.
Yeah.
I called you earlier and asked if you wanted a sandwich.
Doesn't
you said
surprise
no.
me. I did say no. You did call. I have to admit that. Having lunch with my wife. She was working from home today, so.
Did she get you a balloon?
No balloons. No balloons.
No cupcakes.
No. We were at Kickapoo, Lucky Eagle Casino this weekend. Went down there on Saturday, spent the night, and so that was a nice little birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun.
Did you get cake?
No, I didn't. I did not. Ate a great steak though Saturday night.
Of course,
it was fantastic. Kickapoo, that place is. I didn't win any money pledge, but I didn't get clobbered either. So it was a decent weekend. Actually rallied on Sunday before we left. As I'm playing, slots and watching the Cowboys. Maybe they go hand in hand. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fun weekend though. It was great.
Wow, Pledge. Pledge just wrote on our screen. Apparently he doesn't have the balls to say this out loud, but he said Joe's like the Cowboys. Garbage time wins.
It actually said garage time wins.
Well, Pledge can't spell. I know what he meant.
Hey, I'm okay.
I don't even know if that was the correct spelling of garage.
I rallied. I rallied and finished the deal. The Cowboys rally, but they don't quite finish the deal.
You didn't get quite back to even, so you're in a lot of ways like the Cowboys. You made it interesting late, but still lost.
That's all right. It's all right. That place was packed on Saturday night.
That's a great place.
It's a great place, but, it was packed, and there are a lot of people from San Antonio there. A lot of people.
How many people called you Bill Taylor?
Only one.
Oh, okay, good.
I had one Bill Taylor reference. Other than that, people either knew my name or they
I know you.
Sports guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So it was good.
So a lot of San Antonio people down there at Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino.
A lot of people there. Yeah, I got stopped quite a bit on Saturday and then even on Sunday as well.
Good.
So
Did they all wish you a happy birthday?
They didn't know it was my birthday.
And you didn't wear like a button?
I should have, but I don't know if you string the dollars down.
On yeah.
I should have done that.
You should have done that.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting experiment because I can see a lot of people going, yeah, no, buddy. The slot machine, I just donated to that.
Yeah, but when people are gambling, they're a little bit freer with their money.
Well, sure.
You probably could have made some money down there.
But I have
somebody could send you a balloon.
There's no chance of a return if they give it to me. You stick in that slot machine, there is always that chance of return money coming back your way.
This is true. But it was your birthday.
Yes,
so
it was.
Maybe they would have been nice about it.
Well, who knows?
Maybe.
It's all right. Everybody was very nice. Very nice.
Tends to work more for the ladies anyway.
Yeah, right.
Should have had your wife wearing the birthday
button.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a way to get free money. I'm not even going to read some of those comments that are going on our YouTube channel right now, but if you would like to laugh, go ahead. Although, speaking of, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
You know how at the crowd of a lot of games, any game, during commercial timeouts or whatnot, they put people on the Jumbotron.
Yes.
And people do various things when they see themselves on television.
Yes.
A lot of people just wave. For some reason, a lot of people like to flash. And there's some lady in Denver that was pretending to, she was simulating an act. Yes. Yes.
Oh, you got to give him that hawk and spit on that thing.
And the cameraman at Ball Arena stayed on her for a long time.
Wouldn't you? I mean, this guy was probably that. Ooh, wait, is that what section is she in? You married?
She looked like she was in a suite.
Man.
I mean, nice, comfortable-looking chairs. The people behind her had the little ledge where drinks and whatnot go, and she looked like she had a few, but yeah.
Well, and she was very good at what she did. I mean, she was going.
We get to suck on that all week.
She was going back and forth. I mean, left cheek, right cheek, left cheek, right cheek. It was. I mean, there was no hesitation with that woman. Wow.
Expert level.
I'm telling you. Quite the player.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Thanks.
There is some video.
Oh, my gosh.
Out today. Scary as hell, to be honest with you. And if you're ever at a game and it's delayed because there's lightning in the area, just go find this video. And you'll never bitch about a lightning delay again.
Not at all.
Because there's a soccer game going on. And there's video. They're walking on the field. And you could see the one guy get the direct hit. The officials are saying it might be because of the bracelet he was wearing. He's 39. He's no longer with us. But everybody on the field fell down. Like, you see the lightning strike, and everybody falls down. And then a couple seconds later, like in a movie, some are getting up. Some are moving around. And this guy is
he's
gone.
I mean, it was a direct hit. On this guy, and I mean, he just goes down. But there were 5 people injured. This happened in Peru today. 5 others in the hospital with serious burns. But I'm assuming now, I'm no weather guy, even though I'll play one on TV and on the radio. But I'm assuming once that lightning hits, I mean, the whole ground is just boom.
Yep.
And so that's why they all fell down. This is crazy. So if you're at a football game and they tell you to leave because there's lightning in the area, please do it. Please.
We'll never, ever, ever complain about the lightning delays again after watching this video. Coming up around 3:35, we're going to talk with UIW wide receiver Jalen Walthall. His touchdown celebration going viral. We'll talk to him about that and the incredible season that UIW is having. Mike McCarthy's press conference gets going any moment now. We'll take you there live coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I want to tell you about the Hurt app that TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine has announced their partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The Hurt app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. Hurt is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download Hurt now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. Hurt app is available in the App Store and Google Play. You can learn more about the Hurt app and the Ortho Now Injury Clinic online at tsaog.com.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What Mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish, chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing. What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The most wanted beauty gifts of the season just dropped at Ulta Beauty. From exclusive kits by Sol de Janeiro, MAC, and e.l.f. to the cult favorite Hourglass holiday palettes. And let's not forget the stunning Dyson Airwrap in Strawberry Bronze. These limited editions won't last long, so don't miss out. While you're there, why not grab yourself something special too? I mean, 'tis the season, right? Get all the best gifts all at Ulta Beauty. Head in store today.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. Country boy is all I'll ever be. The American Is It Kids Tour. February 6th, Majestic Theater. Am I the only one? Tickets on sale now at majesticempire.com. Take a bullet for being more free at aaronlewismusic.com. I'm American as it gets. Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. American As It Gets Tour.
The most wanted beauty gifts of the season just dropped at Ulta Beauty. From exclusive kits by Sol de Janeiro, MAC, and e.l.f. to the cult favorite Hourglass holiday palettes. And let's not forget the stunning Dyson Airwrap in Strawberry Bronze. These limited editions won't last long, so don't miss out. While you're there, why not grab yourself something special too? I mean, 'tis the season, right? Get all the best gifts all at Ulta Beauty. Head in store today.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix here on your South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy's press conference has started. We're hitting play on the beginning of that press conference right now.
David?
Maybe more. Guys, morning news. You start with the status of Dak Prescott and what you're looking at there as far as the length of the injury he's dealing with.
Dak Prescott's injury, we're obviously still evaluating. We've have some information. The only thing I really have for you as far as the timeline would be that he will not be available this week.
And without Dak, if you can just talk about how you proceed with Cooper Rush and Trey Lance and just talk specifically about Cooper and what he's done in your time.
Yeah, definitely. It really doesn't change anything for us. And even speaking with Dak earlier, this is about the quarterback room. We've always invested all the time and energy into the quarterback, Dak that has the football. So now it's Cooper's turn, and Dak will be part of that process. And we'll rally around him and make sure that we do everything we can and make sure he's prepared, and we'll just keep going about it the way we've gone about it.
Todd Archer with ESPN. Is IR a possibility for Dak when you get that information?
Obviously a lot of conversation, but I think once the doctors and really once he figures out exactly, where he's at. I mean, those are conversations that'll probably happen here over the course of this week.
And then with Rush, you talked about it a little bit. Can you, in Trey, are there certain ways you can get Trey involved in the game now, or do you just not want to do something like that?
I mean, I think if you just look at the way we played the last game, I mean, we just really want to improve on the things we did well, but obviously we got to clean up, the pre-snap penalties, particularly on the road. The good thing is that we are coming home to play, because that's part of the, part of the mistakes that we've had. But yeah, our focus is really to go into this and have a game plan to beat the Eagles defense, and we have great confidence in Cooper.
Saudis of The Athletic. Mike, you've had 2 extended stretches without Dak, one in 2020, then in 2022. Different results. How do you see? How do you compare those two, and how you can make this more like 2022?
2020 really on just so many different fronts was a challenging year. Obviously, that was a huge injury, and he was playing well at that time. Yeah, and it's a totally different team. Different setup. I think we're definitely further along in Dak's second opportunity when Cooper went in there and did very well. So I don't the point I'm trying to make is I really don't use 2020 as a comparable on a lot of things that we do, just because it was such a different year. But yes, I mean Cooper's played really good football for us. I think he's 5-1 in his opportunities. So like I've already said, we have great confidence in him.
It's the Mike McCarthy press conference here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, it goes well beyond 5-1. I mean, Cooper Rush is as respected as a backup quarterback that I would say since Rich Gannon. When I was with Rich in the 90s of Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, he carries that type of credibility. He's a great teammate. He's someone that you can see the young guys lean on. He's wicked smart, instinctive, does a great job on when he runs a scout team. So I mean, he just does everything the right way. Excellent pro, and like I said, there'll be plenty of confidence in him.
Nick Harris, Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Obviously, turnovers and inconsistency was kind of a problem for Trey Lance during the preseason, but is there anything you can take away positive-wise that you could potentially use here down the stretch?
Yeah, Trey Lance just needs to play. I mean, I know I've said that probably 20 times during the course of the preseason, and I think just the fact that he was able to get game reps. You look at Trey from the time he arrived, there's a lot of new things he had to do, footwork-wise, concept-wise, but another excellent teammate. He's a big part of our quarterback room, the way we function. They all have responsibilities throughout the week for game planning, presentations. Trey does an exceptional job, in that area, especially with signals and things like that. So, he's ready to go to be in that 2 spot. But yeah, like I said, we trust this quarterback room.
Is there an outlook for Micah Parsons this week right now?
Just talking with Micah earlier, he's feeling better, so he's going to get some practice time Wednesday. That'll be a big day, to kind of point us in that direction. So it looks like he's going to be able to potentially get on the practice field.
Joe White, All City Dallas. Kind of that same note, is there kind of an update on Deron Bland's potential for getting back out?
He's kind of the same mode. He'll probably start with the rehab group. I'm projecting because tomorrow's workout will be part of that evaluation. So I'm hopeful that he can move from the rehab group to maybe some limited work Wednesday. But that's to be determined.
Go back to that Falcons game. Looked like the running game got going a little bit as the game progressed. What did you kind of see from just the rhythm that Rico kind of had, and then the offensive line working together?
Yeah, I think clearly giving Rico touches. We'd like to give him some more touches. Obviously his ability not only to run it, but he's very effective in the passing game too. So, yes, the only thing that we really didn't do was to get more trips to the plate in the run game. But I thought Rico played very, very well.
Babe Lockmark, 105.3 The Fan. Mike, taking 2020 off the table with being 3-5, losing your starting quarterback, the Zeke situation. Is this maybe your most challenging week that you've had?
This year?
In your time here.
Taking 2020 off the table. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard. But yeah, I just think this is the path that's been cut out for us. I mean, we're going through, adversity, and it's a phenomenal opportunity for us as a team. Is frankly what we talked about in the team meeting today. And I think the biggest thing for us is, we come out of the bye week, had a really rough game before the bye. Came out of the bye week, thought it was very productive, improved some in our play against San Francisco, had a chance to win the game, took another step, played better against the Falcons. So really the biggest thing is to keep building off what we've done. We answer so many questions, and that's just the beauty of coming in here. It's just so thankful about all the things that we don't do well. So I think it's important for us to really just stay on top of the things that we have done well. And, number one, I finally felt like we were in a flow on offense. We were able to get to some up-tempo. We were able to get some balance, with the offense, offensive play calling, run and pass. So just to build off that, I thought Mike's plan was exactly what we needed. He turned up the heat some on the pressure and things like that. So, we're doing some things better, and hopefully we can get some guys back too. That'll help. But, the continuity and the consistency, we need to take another big step. And we got a big game, obviously, with the Eagles coming here for our division. So just really staying focused on the South Sky, cleaning our own house, and staying after it. Because at the end of the day, if we take care of the things we were able to control, the result of that game yesterday would have been different.
Mike McCarthy's Monday press conference. You're listening to it here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, Zeke will be available. He was in all the, he went through everything today, but we did not have a sit down today.
Ed Werder, WFAA. Can you elaborate a little more on how you were able to resolve Zeke's status after the discipline over the weekend?
I'm not sure you asked me, Ed. What do you mean resolve it?
I mean, how did it come to pass that he decided he wanted to be here, or you still wanted to have him on the team?
Well, I think the biggest thing with Zeke was it was a team, it was a team discipline situation. Had a chance to sit down and talk about it on Friday, and then Saturday, it was a mutual decision for him to stay back, and I respect that.
And could you update us on CeeDee's scans?
Have not got the scans back yet, so we'll know more tomorrow for sure.
Tom.
Tommy Yarstaus, Cowboys.com. Mike, I know one of the things that's frustrated you has been some of the pre-snap stuff. When that keeps happening, is there something that you try to do in practice to get over that, or is that kind of just naturally take time to mentally get out of players' heads?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just one of the things that practice components that we have is anytime a player on either side of the ball, has a pre-snap penalty, he's removed from the play. So, but that maybe that's not enough. But yeah, I mean, we emphasize it, continue to emphasize it. The pattern for the pre-snap, particularly on a road, is the one we just need to just continue to work on. Our nonverbal cadence is the number one, violator of the pre-snap. So obviously we play home the next 2 weeks, but that's something we just got to continue to work on and make sure we get the mechanics tighter because it definitely bit us yesterday.
Newey.
They took my question about Zeke Elliott, but I'll ask you this. Tomorrow America goes to vote. Do you all talk about the locker room about voting and utilizing their rights here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the league does a really good job of, making sure everybody's aware of it. And I think just like, everybody, it's on everybody's mind. But yeah, I think the pre-voting, frankly, I think a lot of people have already voted based on the conversations that I've been a part of.
Did you vote? Yeah.
Not yet. Been busy.
Are you registered in Texas or Wisconsin?
Texas. I'm a Texas resident. God, how can I get away with it? I mean, Jesus. No, I'm kidding. No state taxes here, right? Yeah, that's what I heard.
One thing he's been honest about during this press conference, Mike McCarthy here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You look at the updates. Dak may go IR. They haven't discussed that yet. This is Cooper Rush's team. They're going to rally around him. Trey Lance. Why not try to see what you have in Trey Lance? I mean, clearly being a division game, you try to win this one, and then if it doesn't go well because – quite frankly, you can't stop the run, and Saquon's coming to town. And as we're speaking, Saquon's hurdling somebody backwards on the highlight show behind Pledger right now. I can't imagine what he'll do running the proper way to that Dallas Cowboys defense.
Well, I tell you, I think you have to go with Cooper Rush in this game, just because you can't say to your locker room right now, we're going to go with Trey Lance, the season's over. I just don't think you can do that right now. You still have to have a positive vibe in that locker room and saying, look, man, we've got everything ahead of us, all these division games coming up. We still have an opportunity to do something and to make the playoffs and be the team we want to be. So I think it's too early for that. But certainly if they the next 3 games are tough, and they could very well lose all 3 of them. And if Dak Prescott goes on IR, you bring him back, don't you bring him back? But I think then you start to make a decision on a Trey Lance, and depending on how Cooper plays. But I expect Cooper Rush to be solid. I mean, he's a good backup quarterback, and he's not going to make a lot of mistakes. But I don't think you can tell your locker room right now that, hey, we're going with Trey because the season's over. I think you'd lose them if you do that.
UIW wide receiver Jalen Walthall had a touchdown celebration on Saturday that goes viral. Saw it twice in the NFL yesterday. Jalen joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Huddle, how did the Spurs fare in their road trip out to L.A.?
Further fallout from the Cowboys' loss. We'll talk about it all, but you got to get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-299-1058. 800-299-1058. Again, that's 800-299-1058. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay. The place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay. Things people love.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. The UIW Cardinals having another incredible season which they don't want to leave it up to the committee. But, man, they go viral on Saturday because of a touchdown celebration that everybody's talking about. RG3 tweeted about it. Barstool Sports tweeted out, what if I told you a wide receiver from Incarnate Word changed the touchdown celebration game as we know it? NFL on Fox tweeting about it. Jalen Walthall had the touchdown celebration that goes crazy. He's joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Jalen, congratulations on the win, the touchdown, and, man, going viral. What have the last 24, 48 hours been like for you, man?
Man, thank you for having me on. The last 24, 48 hours been real wild. Non-stop buzz. A whole lot of family, old friends hitting me up saying they seen me. So it's been pretty unreal.
Jalen, I've got to ask you, was that something you planned to do? Is there some kind of meaning behind that touchdown celebration for you?
So the day before, me and a couple of my teammates were talking, and we watched, like, an old classic movie, Stump the Yard. I don't know if y'all familiar with it, old dancing movie.
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, one of the characters stood on their, like, elbow. And we just wanted to see what we could do with that and see if we end up coming up with balancing on the helmet.
So you do it. You catch a 50-yard touchdown pass, great pass. You get the touchdown, you go and you stand right on your head, and you draw a flag. At what point did you realize they were going to penalize you for this?
Before doing it, I didn't really think it would get a flag, but I've been blessed with a coaching staff that loves the fun in the game. They don't want to take it from us, so they responded well.
So, yeah, I mean, nobody did anything to you, right? No coaches didn't get on to you or anything like that?
No, sir.
Did you go viral? And the attention that UIW is getting, it's worth the flag, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I say so.
Yeah, even if the coach might disagree with that between you and me,
I think it's fine.
That was worth it. Now, so everybody's tweeting about it. I imagine your phone is blowing up. And then you see it happen not once but twice in the NFL yesterday. I don't know if you saw them live, but I'm sure you've seen them all on social media. So between St. Brown and Drake London, who did it best in your mind when you compare the people that are copying you?
Shout out to both guys for even doing the celebration, but if I got to pick one, I got to say Amon Ra did it better.
Yeah, I thought, if I'm looking at that too, I saw both of those guys do it, and I would say that he did it best. But do you think that's going to be a trend, Jalen, that I don't know, you may have started a trend that every wide receiver in the NFL, when they score a touchdown, may do your celebration?
I hope so. I'm happy everyone's having fun with it, to be honest. So,
absolutely. Jalen Walthall joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Does this celebration have a name?
So what we ended up coming up with was Bottoms Up. Yes, yeah.
Bottoms up. I like that.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
So I'm just wondering if the officials from here on out that are officiating your game will let that go. I mean, since it's so popular now, I don't understand the flag. I'll be honest with you.
Well, in previous weeks, I've seen backflips and all type of celebrations, so I just thought we'd go have a little fun. But
dude, I'm
what it is.
I'm with you. You got to have fun in the game. Bottoms up is great, although Jalen, man, in this era of name, image, likeness, you gotta have somehow with this has got your name in it. I mean, so every time somebody does it, They're talking about you. They're talking about UIW. Bottoms up. I like it, but we got to work on that so it benefits more you.
Yes, sir.
We'll come up with something creative.
We'll have to come up with something creative.
And there's a lot of creative people listening right now that can tweet us and tweet Jalen or UIW football. Tweet somebody, but I think we need to come up with a name that incorporates either your name or UIW as a part of this, because I don't know if you saw the beginning of Sunday Night Football last night, but Maria Taylor, did you see this? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where she said it was a high school celebration. I mean, there's got to be more respect coming UIW's way from the national types, right?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm open to all suggestions.
Well, Jalen, what I take from your celebration, you guys are just having a good time all the way around as a football team. I mean, it's a great year.
Yes, sir. It has been.
Well, and you look at it, a 45-20 homecoming win over Houston Christian. You guys are winning all your games. You're having a lot of fun. I know, and I mentioned this, and I saw this also on Twitter, but last year, getting into the FCF playoffs, it came up to the committee, and they didn't invite you. You guys don't want the committee to have a choice this year.
Yeah, this year it's been a lot of stress about making the decision ourselves and coming in every day and doing what we got to do.
Well, I tell you what, you guys look great, and I would just assume the confidence that you guys have as a football team right now. Everybody's clicking, it seems like.
Yes, sir.
What's been the secret to your success as you guys have gone through the season?
Taking everything one day at a time, being where our feet are. You feel me? Just knowing that anything outside of our room doesn't really affect us too much, so just keep moving forward.
And that's how it has to be. Jalen Walthall, wide receiver from UIW, had the touchdown celebration, calling it bottoms up, but we're going to work on a name that incorporates either Jalen or UIW.
Sounds like a good, I don't know if he can do a bar. Sounds like a good bar. Bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
Be a nice shot.
I mean, I could see that. We could go with that.
Yeah, we could
as long as you don't have to stand on your head at the bar, right?
You've done that before.
I mean, not on purpose. I mean, that's the difference. He stood on his head on purpose, right, Jalen? An incredible year that you guys are having, and I know a lot of fans missing out on the excitement that UIW has been, that football program, the last several years, and it seems like coaches leave, new ones come in, and you guys don't miss a beat. And again, 45-20, and quite frankly, I don't think the game was even that close, was it?
No, sir. I definitely think we left some plays on the field, but that's why we continue to practice, making plays moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, Jalen, man, congratulations on the win, the season that you and your UIW teammates are having, and going viral, man. That's incredible, man. Couldn't be happier for you and the entire program.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Jalen Walthall joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Outstanding. The fact that's got to be a thrill for that young man.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you watching football on Sunday afternoon, you see a couple of big time guys just, copying what you've done as a touchdown celebration. What a thrill for that young man.
And he's right. St. Brown, perfect form. Drake London, hey, if you were judging on the Olympics because his legs weren't completely together, he would get deducted a lot of points there. So I think Jalen called that one correctly. Plus, Drake did his against the Dallas Cowboys, so screw that
guy. Oh, man. Well, that may be a trend moving forward. There'll be a lot of those against the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, stop. I think we're going to see a lot of that celebration all over the place. And, they've got a game coming up against Lamar. That should be a good game, 2 o'clock on Saturday the 9th. And I think that is their last home game until the playoffs get underway. And, again, exciting brand of football. They have a lot of fun down there.
Yeah.
It was their homecoming game. And they go viral with that touchdown celebration. And I can't believe there was a flag thrown on that.
Well,
and I'm glad that the coaches didn't mind that 15 yards.
It does suck because what Jalen said was, guys doing backflips. What's the difference? and a guy doing a backflip or a guy standing on his head.
It's because the ref has never seen that before.
I just think,
and the ref's jealous he can't do that.
Well, they need to readjust or adjust their thinking because, look, they're just having some fun. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I hope they adjust because if I'm the coaching staff over there and Jalen scores another touchdown, I'm do it again.
You know, and we do have great listeners, and I know a lot of people from UIW listening right now. Josh says Jalen's celebration should replace the I in UIW. So I think you could come up with an alternate logo there. And then he calls it the Walthall House celebration.
Yeah.
That's really good. Gary Murphy says off the waffle. That, too, is very good. If he only had waffle houses in San Antonio, there really could be a solid NIL deal.
There could be. We don't have any anymore, do we? There used to be one kind of on the south side, right off, what is it, I-10 on the south side, just past downtown. That's no longer there.
What's that?
Waffle House.
We've never had a Waffle House here.
Of course we have.
No.
Yes.
No.
Dude, I'm telling you, we had one.
I don't know that we've ever had a Waffle House here. I mean, they're a staple in the South. I think there's one in Austin.
I'm pretty sure there was a Waffle House off I-10 on the south side as you're making your way out of town to go to Houston. Now, so I could be wrong, but somebody else
could have been a sign that said waffles.
Well, it said Waffle.
Was it Denny's?
House. Waffle House. When has Denny's ever had a sign that says waffles?
I don't know.
I don't like waffles or pancakes, either way. Waffles. How do they just get a piece of bread?
Get off my lawn.
Put some syrup on it. I mean, what the hell?
So you don't like pancakes?
No.
Or waffles?
No.
Wow.
I mean, if I had to eat them, I would, but it's not something that I'm going to order at a Waffle House.
Chris Bell says the waffle stand.
Well, I like Renee said the handstand Jalen should replace the I in UIW.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. And then, of course, Gino DiDomenico. And I'll tell you what, his Max DiDomenico had an incredible interception in a return to SEAL Army's win over Air Force over the weekend, although I was a little surprised and disappointed Max didn't take that one all the way to the house. Of course, he's got to come in with the official rules. The NCAA rules deem that to be unsportsmanlike.
Well, what about a backflip? Is that not unsportsmanlike? I don't get it. I get where you're coming from, and I understand what the flag was for, but sometimes you ought to just kind of look the other way, shouldn't you?
I would think.
Yes.
Adam over at KSAT said there was a Waffle House in Seguin, which is to the east, not the south, but he knows you're directionally challenged.
There used to be a Waffle House on Fredericksburg and 410, according to Bexar County Social, in that shopping center. It's now a Jalisco. And then Ritterman and 410 by the railroad tracks, according to Art Garcia.
Why would they not survive here?
I have no idea.
Because there's like this whole Twitter handle and everything about bringing Waffle Houses to San Antonio.
Jim's put them out of business. How about that?
When was the last time you went to Jim's?
Well, it's been a while, but their breakfast is
good.
Off the chain, as the kids say.
Do the kids say that?
They do say that. Now, would 410 and Ritterman be considered south, or is that east? I guess it's east because you're headed to Houston. Southeast, I'll say.
I don't honestly remember Waffle Houses at all in San Antonio.
Well, that doesn't mean that there wasn't one, because you don't remember it.
But I love the Waffle House, and I don't get waffles either. They've got a great breakfast. So if I'm in Georgia, if you're in Florida, and you're hungover because you are, there's no better place.
Well, and somebody said because, breakfast tacos put them out of business.
Well, there's that, but, I mean, how does Jim stay alive? How does Denny stay alive?
Jim's has a pretty good breakfast taco. Have you ever tried it?
I have not.
It's delicious.
How does IHOP stay alive?
Well, I have no idea.
Right? I mean, there's something about the Waffle House. One, it's cheap. They only got a couple of things on the menu anyway, but it's good. It's bacon and eggs for me, and their hash browns.
Well, dude, bacon and eggs, that's like a dime a dozen.
Well, they are, but there's something about the way they do them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's just greasier than the other
yes,
guy. Maybe that's it.
And again, it's and maybe I'm going to answer my own question because I don't remember there being one here. Which again doesn't mean there wasn't, but every time you hear about it, there's always this group about why they don't come to San Antonio. And I remember Maddie Sky used to write different articles about it, and we would have discussions when she was on this show. Pledge just pulled up a map of where Waffle Houses are now, but that doesn't tell us why there aren't any in San Antonio now. But it's almost like In-N-Out Burger. When you're traveling, you go to places. But now that it's here, I don't give a damn, and it's not near as good here. There was something about an In-N-Out Burger in L.A. that I was in California. If I'm in Atlanta or if I'm somewhere in Florida and go to the Waffle House, I know where I'm at.
Apparently, if I'm reading this map right, there's 60 of them in Houston.
In Houston?
Holy cow.
And they can't come here. Ben Brasino says, in the 80s, there was one at Fredericksburg Road and 410. And one on 35 between Eisenhower and Riddiman.
I knew I
in the
seen
80s.
That.
Well, I moved here in 93, so they weren't here when I was here.
The sign was still there forever. I mean, it was there for a long time. That you could see, because I remember driving out of the AT&T Center, driving that way, and you'd see Waffle House.
Yes.
In yellow.
And Josh Amena said Waffle House is open at 3 a.m. That's what makes it good, too. Yes, Waffle House is always one of those places you don't go in the daylight. You don't.
Well, why wouldn't a Waffle House be open 24 hours a day? That's kind of dumb.
It is. It's open 24 hours.
Well, you said it opens at 3 a.m.
It doesn't open. It is open.
It is open at 3 a.m. All right, gotcha.
Reading is hard.
It is. Well, 3 a.m.'s it's a little late. Even you leave the bar at 2, what the hell's it taking an hour to get there?
Well, it depends on where it is.
Huh.
A lot of the times at that time of night, there's a line.
Yeah, there is a line.
Uh-huh. I'll go to Jack in the Box.
There's a line there, too, in the drive-thru.
But it's a lot quicker.
Not necessarily. When was the last time you actually closed down a bar?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, it depends. If I'm on, if on vacation, I'll do that. But if I'm just hanging out, probably not.
Renee says his sister used to work at the Kettle restaurant. Kettles, they were good, too. They went away. We used to have a Kettle in Copper's Cove. It was the only thing that we really had in Copper's Cove.
Well, you better find it good, because if that's all you had.
I mean, we didn't have I don't think we had a Denny's in Copper's Cove. We have, although it's still there, a place called Little Tex, but it wasn't 24 hours or open late.
We didn't have a chain breakfast place like that, but there was
in Alice?
A mom and pop, in Alice, a little mom and pop called Dina's.
Dina's?
Dude, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
All right. Keep coming up with names for Jalen Walthall's touchdown celebration. I like where you guys are going. You can Jalen's Twitter, by the way. Let's give this guy all the love we can.
Absolutely.
Is just his name, at Jalen Walthall, WALTHALL. Make sure you tweet him some of these great ideas, because there's got to be something in here. I know they named it Bottoms Up, which is a fine name, and I like it. But I think because it's Jalen and UIW, for him to get a lot more love, because we're going to see that, and nationally, will he continue to get the credit? And I love the fact that everybody is tweeting about UIW. Fox Sports on NFL tweeted out, Jalen Walthall, look what you started, which is cool, but they didn't tag him. Barstool tweeted about him. RG3 tweeted about it, along with a lot of others. I mean, just it's incredible the attention that they're getting. And yes, SportsCenter Top 10, all good stuff.
Good stuff. I'm happy for that young man. That's good, and I hope NFL players keep it up.
Absolutely,
I really do. I hope they keep it up.
Curious if we'll start seeing that in high school games too.
Although
you've
got a flag.
And again, it's depending on the game situation. I mean, they were up. I think that put them up 38 to not a whole lot at the time. Tight game, you got to be careful if you're going to get a flag.
Well, true.
When you're winning in a blowout, have fun. Go have fun. And I like the fact that the coaching staff over there, like he said, keep the fun in football.
Well, and again, you keep the fun in football as long as you're ahead by 30 points. If it would have been a 3-point game, I'm not sure how much fun they would have allowed him to have.
Mm-hmm.
There's always and nothing wrong with that, coaches, but I'm just saying.
Man, Greg's calling you out, Joe. Said that there was a kettle in Alice.
Oh, but I don't remember a kettle in Alice. What the hell was that, Greg? I don't remember a kettle in Alice.
It's like that we know somebody else from Alice that's listening to this show.
I met a lady from Alice up in Eagle Pass at Kickapoo.
Yeah?
How about that? She said, I'm from Alice. I said, wow, isn't that a coinky-dink? So am I.
Well, I think she probably knew that.
She didn't know that.
When you pull into Alice, Texas, there's a big billboard of you that says home of Joe Reinagel.
I'm not sure. It's behind that big tree. I don't think you can see it very clearly.
They don't celebrate you?
They don't. I don't know what the hell's the matter with those folks.
I don't either. I mean, are you the most famous person to ever come out of Alice, Texas?
I wouldn't say that.
Who would be more?
We had a dude named Sonny Brown who played for Oklahoma and I had a cup of coffee in the NFL. We had another guy, and I can't remember his name. He actually played for the Cowboys for a minute.
And you can't remember his name? Therefore, he can't be more famous than Joe Reinagel.
Well, he actually, well, if you went to Alice right now and you asked Joe Reinagel, who? What?
We got to change that.
How do you do that?
How do we do that? We figure out how we do our show one day at the Dairy Burger.
You need to. Steak strips.
Yeah.
Man. Steak strips at Dairy Burger.
Yeah.
They're the best.
My wife had a brilliant idea driving home from the beach yesterday when she saw the sign for Alice, Texas.
Yeah?
She said, we should go over there and get some steak strips for Joe's birthday.
You should have.
Yeah, dude, I had to make it home before the game.
Well, you should have, but you still didn't.
Well, that's because 37 was shut down yesterday for whatever reason.
Well.
You wouldn't want day-old steak strips. And quite frankly, if they're as good as you say they are, they would never have made it to you. You'd have just heard about how good they were.
No, you would, dude. They're the best, and you like steak strips.
I do.
Dairy Queen steaks. These Dairy Burger has them by miles.
Miles.
But you got to have the gravy and the hot sauce in there. That's what makes them.
Gravy and hot sauce.
Yeah.
Sounds far better than gravy and ketchup.
Well, it's typically the same thing, isn't it? Damn near, except one's spicy and one's not.
Which makes them nothing like the same.
What do we got up here? Chris Brazel was the name I was looking for.
Yeah, famous people from Alice, and Reinagel's name isn't on there. If that's Wikipedia, you can edit that.
Yeah, I should. Tommy Aycock, who was a professional golfer. Okay, all right. I remember him.
Are you sure?
All right, now Lois Childs, all right. She was an actress.
Uh-huh.
And a very beautiful lady came out of Alice.
All right.
I remember Lois. Her dad was a big oil tycoon.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
What are you laughing at? What? You can't say that.
Why not?
I don't know.
That was a character in the movie.
What's the name of that character?
Holly Goodhead.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to it. Spit on that leg.
That's what Lois is famous for?
James Bond. No, she played, I think she was like Robert Redford's girlfriend in one of those old movies, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See, I'm really surprised. I didn't make the list. I don't know who the hell Bill Henry is. Who gives a damn?
Bill Henry?
Bill Henry.
He's an actor.
Robert
He
Curl,
was on
who
the
hell's
show
that?
This Is Alice? Huh.
Wow.
And the 1961 World Series.
How about that?
Huh.
Well. Huh.
Alice, Texas, known as the Hub City.
I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't make the Copper's Cove list. A lot of famous people from Copper's Cove.
Well, who besides RG3?
Peanut Tillman.
Okay.
Michael Stepp. He's from REM, the lead singer from the band REM.
Well, you had to explain that.
Well, I mean, everybody else knows who REM is.
I know who REM is, but I know Bill Stepp's the lead singer. Who the hell's that?
Or Michael.
That
but
guy
whatever.
Too. Bill's his brother.
No, he had a sister. I went to school with his sister. I didn't really know Michael. He was a little older.
All right.
Hal Mummy. Well, Hal Mummy's not. Hal Mummy's actually from San Antonio.
He coached.
He coached in Copper's Cove. My high school coaches, Hal Mummy and Billy Gillespie in basketball.
Wow.
Go figure. And there was some lady, I don't know her name because it's recently, but she was on all the NCISs there for a while. But I didn't know. Well. But Copper's Cove celebrates her.
Oh, that's great.
I don't make the list.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Well, I don't either, apparently.
Obviously. We'll get the latest update for you on what's going on with Gregg Popovich. as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Settling in after 2 on the road. The Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles at home.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
If you needed one more reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler, get this. Diamonds Direct maintains involvement in the entire diamond process and handpicks the best just for you. You see, any jeweler can claim to be a direct importer or have so-called partnerships overseas, but Diamonds Direct has special access that others simply don't have. Nobody can get closer to the source than Diamonds Direct. Indeed, Diamonds Direct is recognized in the industry as a world diamond powerhouse with unrivaled buying power and decades of inside connections that go back to their roots as actual diamond cutters. Bottom line, Diamonds Direct is without question the jeweler here that can truly offer the absolute best value. We're true talking direct importer prices on hand-selected diamonds that come straight from the source. Make no mistake, Diamonds Direct refuses to be undersold on GIA-certified diamonds. And we challenge you, let us prove it. Diamonds Direct, your source for the ultimate diamond value. Proud to call Alamo City home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So, who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan Silver Dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Americans treasure owning silver bars and coins, putting them away for themselves and their loved ones. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. You'll be glad you did. Hurry, don't miss out on this special deal. Save $10 per silver bar. The more you buy, the more you save. Limit of 25 bars per customer. Call to learn more. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value and free shipping. Call 1-800-222-3967 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan Silver Dollar bars. That's 1-800-222-3967.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
JCPenney has more gifts, bigger savings for every holiday wish list. Celebrate the season that never stops giving. From denim to diamonds, PJs to perfume, and mixers to massagers, we're giving you more options than ever at a value that helps you give a little extra. Looking for more bright ideas? We've got the big brands everyone wants. From Levi's to Legos, there's more to love for them and you. All the deals, all the feels, all the gifts to go around. JCPenney. Make it count.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs will be without head coach Gregg Popovich indefinitely. According to ESPN's Shams Charania, he has health issues. Mitch Johnson will serve as the interim head coach in the meantime. Spurs are in L.A. tonight to take on the Clippers. They'll tip things at 9:30. Texas A&M running back Le'Veon Moss will miss the rest of the season. Head coach Mike Elko made that announcement earlier today.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Joe.
They say it's your birthday. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's my birthday, too.
Don't do that. Don't do that again.
See that? There you go. Come on, everybody. Let's all sing it.
If somebody would like to sing Reinagel happy birthday,
somebody on YouTube says I share a birthday with Diddy. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know who else I share a birthday with? Bill Schoening.
Bill Schoening.
The voice of the San Antonio Spurs.
I saw that. And Matt, a regular listener.
Oh, yeah?
He commented that he remembers your birthday because it's his.
That's true. That's true. Well, happy birthday, everybody, if you're celebrating today.
Like Joe is.
Yes.
Apparently, you share a birthday with the great Matthew McConaughey.
Ah.
Okay.
And the Karate Kid himself, Ralph Macchio.
I knew that. I remember that. I didn't know about McConaughey.
So what about Diddy?
All right.
When is Diddy's birthday?
That's what I'm looking for. He is not popping up on the list of famous birthdays right now.
I don't know if that's the proper phrasing.
That's probably not the way to refer to Diddy, is popping up. Or pop it in. One of the two.
Ooh. Born November 4th, 1969.
Really?
Diddy? Wow.
Diddy was born when?
November 4th, 1969.
How about that?
Mm-hmm. Well, what are you going to do, you know?
Celebrate appropriately.
Yep.
That's all you can do.
And no freak parties. What do you call those things?
Freak-offs.
Freak-offs.
I think on your birthday it'd be the one day to have a party.
No.
I mean, look, you didn't get any cake, and so far no balloons.
The problem with Diddy's freak-offs, I'm a giver, not a taker. All right. So I have a lot of yeah.
How about those Cowboys?
How about them? I'm just saying, and if you are, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just free to do what you want. I appreciate all the birthday love that I'm getting on YouTube today. Thank you very much for that. I really do. I appreciate y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, what was it like, Bieber? You get $200 million? We could negotiate.
There's going to end up being like a case of baby oil delivered to the studio.
Oh, please, no.
So do you want baby oil or balloons? I mean, if you can get ice delivered here just by mentioning ice, somebody can get you a balloon or baby oil.
I don't want any.
We know people.
I have no use for baby oil. So I'm good there.
So a balloon, huh?
Sure, that'd be great.
I mean,
yes.
I want me some glory hole.
Yeah, well, so does Diddy.
He's still in, right?
Still in jail?
Yeah.
Are you scared?
Who?
No. I'm just thinking today's birthday celebration might be far different, yet maybe not from what he's used to.
Yeah, well.
I'm just saying.
Although, it may not be. It could very well be the same if he's in jail. That's going to be interesting.
What's going to be interesting?
Well, when the names start coming out of people that are, attended those freak-offs, I think we're going to be, maybe not surprised. But
we're not going to be surprised.
Probably not.
Not at all. Because then they'll say, well, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. If you went to a freak-off, I'm sure you saw things you don't ever want to see, or maybe you do. I don't know.
Keep talking.
I'm good.
Just keep talking.
I was never invited to a freak-off.
You used to
You sound disappointed.
Yeah, no,
I'm not
always disappointed when he doesn't get invited to the party. Then you realize what was going on, and you're like, well, man, I'm glad I wasn't there.
Well, I mean, you think about it. Apparently, that was probably like, well, if you were invited to Diddy's freak-off, you made it. Because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of executive record people that were, you probably meet a lot of people there. Get very close. Wow. Hell, Johnson & Johnson
Here
might have
we
been
go.
there.
Well,
with their baby oil.
They're sponsors.
Exactly. Holy cow.
Imagine the guy in the fulfillment center. I got an order for 1,000. What is going on? I don't want to know.
The fulfillment center, huh? Jeez. Is he working at Johnson & Johnson or Diddy's? Oh, man.
Fred Works on YouTube says, Ryan Eagle saying freak off is creepy yet hilarious.
Thanks, Fred. Wow.
You guys just need to go read the comments on our YouTube section right now. I don't know that I can read some of these on air.
We're having fun. Gizzards.
Sounds like my meat pig.
I don't think that doesn't say gizzards.
I know.
Okay, careful.
He meant it to say dead
what?
birds.
Yeah? What?
Instead of, yes.
Yeah, careful.
Yeah, y'all should go to the YouTube channel. If you've never been there, it's quite the community in there. And again, thank you for all the birthday love, and happy birthday to you. If you've got a couple of people, I guess, have some birthdays coming up as well, like Corey Shield. Friday is his birthday. So happy birthday in advance.
See, Corey's like you. You need to celebrate for a whole week.
I agree with that.
I mean, Ryan Eagle was bitching the other day like a sorority girl because, his birthday's on the 4th, and so he doesn't get his birthday month, and then, boom, it's November, and it's his birthday, it's over, where if his birthday was at the end of the month, he'd get an entire month to celebrate.
I know.
He said he wanted balloons and cake.
And he got neither. I got a Yeti full of water.
Just water. Well, the problem is you left it up to me to get balloons and cake.
I really didn't want all that stuff.
And it's a Monday.
It was very, very kind of you, though, Minix. He calls today and asks if I want lunch.
I was going to get you a sandwich.
Yeah, and I didn't.
You said no.
Well, I was Maggie's working from home today.
Yeah.
So we had lunch.
Aw.
It was nice.
She made you lunch. Peanut butter and jelly
sandwich. I didn't say she made me lunch. I said we had lunch. Nobody said anything about making anything.
Got a sandwich.
Yeah.
Some chips. Peanut butter and jelly and Doritos.
No peanut butter and jelly. No. That ain't happening.
You don't like peanut butter? Well, you don't like peanut butter. Of course not.
No, I don't.
What a sheltered life.
Now, the jelly is fine. You guys.
So what is your use for jelly if you don't put it with peanut butter?
Well, on toast. I love jelly on toast. A little butter first and then some jelly.
Okay.
Preferably strawberry.
Okay.
That's money.
Money. Huh?
Money.
Money.
Uh-huh.
Money. Money. Okay. Not sure where to go with that one.
There's nowhere to go.
Not sure where to go with that one.
We can talk a little Spurs if you want.
Yeah,
Gregg Popovich.
Yeah, let's talk some Spurs
You wanna
coming
do that?
up.
Big game tonight against the number 2-less Clippers.
Yeah. And again, it is going to be an interesting game. Spurs at the Clippers tonight. No Pop for the foreseeable future. We'll give you the latest on what we know about Gregg Popovich and his health issues. As far as the game goes, you want to add a little more excitement to watching the game tonight. Make sure you download the Underdog Fantasy app and try to win some money while watching the game. It's easy to do on the Pick'em game, which I love playing, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Like on my Pick'em entry yesterday, Dak Prescott, higher than 5.5 rushing yards. We knew with all the talk last week he was going to run the ball, and he did. Call that easy money. And right now, Underdog is running a special, a promo, a bonus almost every single day, like a profit boost. I saw one earlier on Wemby tonight. Profit boosts are fun. You can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries, and they have one tonight on Wemby. Discounts where you get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win, and free picks. Basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win, and all new users get a free pick. So download the Underdog Fantasy app, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 of bonus cash instantly. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I have to ask the sun. At some point, is that ever going to be addressed?
Talking about it.
In the stadium, the 325 sundial effect, it just seems something that we can fix. Let's put some curtains up.
Okay, noted.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Munix. Appreciate you tuning in. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Got Chiefs and Buccaneers as the Monday night game tonight. You can listen to it here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Which this is a good night when you've got Monday Night Football on and the Spurs are in L.A., so that game is going to start stupid late. So you can really watch both and have a good feel. And tonight's Spurs game got a lot more interesting with news today that Gregg Popovich did not travel with the team and will miss at least the next 2 games according to Spurs PR. Now, Shams Charania says out indefinitely as he deals with an illness. So trying to figure out what is actually going on with Gregg Popovich, and the Spurs haven't released any details other than it appears to be very medical related.
Yeah, health issues is what everybody's reporting. So, and we've heard things that, he's okay to it's this, but I don't know anything for sure. And so I hate to speculate on it, but he is out the next couple. I hope he's okay. I don't want anything bad happening to Gregg Popovich, and I know Spurs fans don't either. So,
and I say you say that, and the human side of things versus everything else. And again, we have no idea because the Spurs haven't told us, and Gregg Popovich obviously likes to keep things private. He didn't coach Saturday night either, and by all indications, he wasn't feeling well. No big deal. Nobody seemed overly concerned at that time. So, all right, maybe he had, a bit of a cold or I don't know. Who knows? I mean, but he wasn't there Saturday. But there didn't seem to be a lot of concern on Saturday from Spurs staffers, especially from the media that were in the building on Saturday night. So this was a bit of a surprise today to get the news, and then what Shams is reporting on top of that. And because he keeps everything so private, it leads to a lot of speculation. You and I have both been in this business in this town for a long time and know a lot of people, and we've heard from a lot of those people who say they know this and say they know that, and they've heard this and they heard that, and the inconsistencies are pretty wild, which I would think would encourage the Spurs to put out something with a little bit more detail, because they could easily squash a lot of the various rumors that are going on out there when it comes to the health of Gregg Popovich.
Well, and I know Pop, is a private guy, didn't want to draw attention to himself. But in this case, when you're talking about health issues of a man that's 75 years old, you might want to clarify a little bit. Look, he's okay. He's just he's going through some medical procedures. He's going through some medical tests. Whatever the case may be, you don't have to tell us what it is. But it would be nice if we knew a little bit more. Is he okay? Is this a serious thing? Is it, what is it? And again, it's but that's kind of the Spurs way. They've always been that way. So at least under Gregg Popovich's leadership.
And again, when you're in the public eye like that, you kind of lose some of that privacy. But at the same time, you always try to respect privacy. But the reality is there's a lot of different rumors out there, and already people immediately talking about like permanent succession plan. It's way too early for that. And from the political side of things, whether you agree with Pop or don't agree with Pop, you don't wish anybody ill. It's like rooting for injury, man. You don't celebrate that.
Absolutely not. And I don't know that it's come to the point where we're talking about successors at this point in time. Mitch Johnson is going to handle the team until Gregg gets back, but I think Pop's okay. I mean, he just signed a new contract, right? I mean, so he's got a lot to get back to as far as that goes, although I'm sure Pop is just fine.
Although you look at this game tonight, and you think about where the Spurs are, and you wonder how different things will go without Pop there for tonight's game in L.A., and he's already been ruled out, which is a weird way of saying that, but it's sports. He's been ruled out of Wednesday's game at Houston. So even if he wakes up tomorrow feeling better, he's not going to get on a bus and go down to Houston for that game. So we know he's going to miss at least these two games, which is what the Spurs have told us. Shams' report makes it feel like he could be out much longer than the next two road games.
Indefinitely leads you to believe that. That's for sure. Look, Mitch Johnson is a good coach, and I think he's going to do exactly what Pop would do. I don't think he's going to do anything different. And they have a game plan. I'm sure they're talking. It would shock me if they're not. So they got a game plan, and the Clippers aren't exactly the best team on the planet. So Spurs have a great chance of success, and then they'll see Houston for the third time this early season already.
Houston again. Again. And I hope to a degree you're right that Pop is well enough to at least be able to communicate. Because at 75 years old and you hear about a health situation, it's scary as hell. Think about, any of us with, older parents. If my mom is dealing with something, it's alarming at this age, which is why I wish the Spurs would be a little bit more forthcoming and Pop would be than they used to. So I hope that they're able to communicate. That would seem to make things seem very, very minor. But even Chris Paul said after Saturday's win, I mean, Mitch did a great job. And, by all accounts he did, is you look at what the Spurs were able to do and they played a good game on Saturday night.
And against a good basketball team.
Yes.
In the T-Wolf. So it wasn't like it was a cupcake in there. They played very well and got the job done. So big win for them. I would say probably the biggest thus far if you're looking at that. Maybe Houston, maybe, but Minnesota is a good basketball team. So going up there, the L.A. Clippers are not very good. They're 2-4. They've lost 3 in a row. So you would think the Spurs, even though they're underdogs in this game, they're 4.5-point dog the last I saw, which surprises the heck out of me. But real good opportunity for the Spurs to get the win tonight.
As goofy as this sounds, what I'm more curious about in watching tonight's game is what they show us of that new arena that the Clippers are playing in.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, and I know that sounds goofy, but I have, other than the opening night and the highlights, I haven't watched any part of any game that the Clippers have played so far this season. Of course, why would I? But seeing that wall that they built to distract people, where fans from opposing teams aren't allowed to play, to all the other bells and whistles, I hope that we get a little insight into what they've done for a variety of reasons. One, I'm just curious to see what that thing looks like on the inside. And two, what do we like in that building that we're going to be able to put in the new Wemby Center when it gets done? Because you always steal from what the new buildings have to say, well, they got that. That's pretty cool. What can we do better?
Yeah, it's always good to rob other places.
Yes.
It's got to be a design already, though, doesn't there? I mean, somebody's got to have some sort of a blueprint, a sketch.
You think the Spurs would be working on a new building plan before they have everything in place?
Yes.
Of course they are.
Yes.
But it's a sketch at this point. You go into that building and you go, man, how did Ballmer make it to where everyone in this building can pee at the same time and not miss any of the action?
Well, I hope that they don't want to make it look like the Alamo Dome. And match that.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but here's the problem with San Antonio.
Here we go.
I love this city, by the way. Here we go. Love this city, but everybody wants everything to blend into downtown. I want to see a modern arena, one that looks modern, that's, like the new Frost Bank building. That's awesome. Something like that, just modern and high tech looking.
You look at some of the people that are now part of the ownership group.
Yeah.
It's going to be very modern.
I hope so.
And there's going to be a lot of technology.
Because look, the SBC Center at that time, they made it to look like a barn, so it fit right in to the rodeo.
It's the rodeo's building. The Spurs just play there.
I understand that, but you don't have to make it look like a barn.
Well, I want to figure out ways, like technology, and I don't know how expensive this would be, but just make it happen. Where I can punch in my order on the phone, and all of a sudden, like the bank teller machine, like the beer will just pop up into the cup holder. Boom.
Wow.
There it is. Why don't we have that technology yet?
I don't know if anybody has that.
Nobody has that yet, but they should. Why do we stand in line for anything, right? You get food delivered to your seats now in a lot of buildings.
Uh-huh.
Well, why can't they just make it come to the seat like those little, with the bank teller?
Well, because a lot of people, unlike you, like draft beer. And that, you can't do that with draft. I prefer a draft beer than a canned beer.
You could figure out a way.
Well, you could do that, or you could go, be social with folks and stand in line and talk and have some fun.
And do you actually talk to people when you're standing in line, or do you bitch when people start talking to you?
No, I enjoy talking to people.
Uh-huh.
I talk to people all the time.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, it's kind of nice to go see your other Spurs fans and get their feeling on what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
They always ask me, what's going on with the Spurs?
Well, you would like to just stay in your seat and
Not
have
at
them
all.
bring it to you.
No, I don't mind that at all.
You just don't want to stand in line at the bathroom.
Now, that I don't want to do. Now, if they could make a urinal pop up right there in front of me, that'd be nice.
No.
They just like a little.
They just have enough porcelain in that building to where there should be no line.
There ought to be a way where some little thing you pop right up there and you can just.
I'm surprised you just don't have one of those things you could just attach and have it run down your leg, and you would never have to get up.
I could wear a diaper.
Catheter?
I guess that's one way. No, I don't want a catheter. You know where they stick those things, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want one.
Ever.
I don't.
Well, that went south in a hurry.
Yeah, it did.
Not where I thought that was going to go.
Speaking of draft beer. Wow. You got nothing. Eject.
Yeah. We've got tickets to go see Verdos. It's a comedian.
Okay. I saw that. Verdos. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Close enough. November 16th at the Aztec Theater.
If you know, you know. Right?
Yeah, well, either way, you're going to laugh. He's a comedian, right?
Well, hopefully.
I mean, it's free tickets. If you want free tickets. Be caller 12 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them, livenation.com. Right now, caller 12, get a pair of tickets to see comedian Verdos. I think that's how you say his name.
Verdos.
Aztec Theater, November 16th, 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. So bad in Dallas now you can only laugh, right? Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric at my house for a variety of projects. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric, they've served San Antonio homes and businesses. And one of the great things about Hill Electric, they've got the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
The Morning Huddle.
But I can't master the bidet. There's a hover factor that I haven't quite figured out yet.
Yeah, I don't want no one to show me either.
Yeah, that's one of those you got to learn on your own. You got to do some OJT on this one.
Right,
I'll teach you, man. Yeah.
What do I do, dude?
Yeah, just you lean forward and then you wiggle a little.
There's an aim that you got to zero in on this. It's like a bombardier during World War II.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great-tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Shop Dell Technologies' early holiday savings event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Early holiday savings is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Watching on YouTube, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He is the birthday boy, Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Lennox. If you did some grilling over the weekend, make sure you take those great photos of that meat on your grill and upload them to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
There have been some great photos lately. Some great meat on the grill, so keep it up, y'all. You're doing good.
You're doing good. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Got one more game tonight in football. Chiefs and Buccaneers. Checking your picks at the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge page at sasportstar.com.
I actually did much better on that than I did in our prime picks. I'll be honest with you. I got a chance with a win tonight to have 12 winners.
Yeah, I need a win tonight to get 10.
Alexandra's not wanting to hear that, but it is a reality.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's after me for some reason. I don't know why.
She set a low bar. She's trying to clear it.
I guess so. But I have a feeling she hasn't, said anything, so I have a feeling she didn't do very well this week.
I know Alexander pretty well. She's probably going to say it's early.
Well, exactly, and she would be absolutely right. No question about it.
One of my losses is I took Dallas.
Yeah, you did. That's too bad.
I thought this was a game that Dallas could go get a win. Because while Atlanta is a good team, they're not a great team. They're not good at stopping the run. They're not good at rushing the passer. So I figure the Cowboys had a chance because the Cowboys, well, they suck in both of those areas. But if the other team sucks too, you've got yourself a chance.
Sure.
And yet an Atlanta team that had 6 entire sacks on the entire season got 3 yesterday.
That offensive line is not good. Let's just put it that way. And what's sad to see, and I mean this sincerely, and if you've listened to the show at any point in time, I don't like to see great players stay around too long. Although, in Zach Martin's case, this kind of came out of nowhere, did it not? The guy has just not played well this year, and it's sad to see that because he could arguably be one of the greatest linemen in NFL history.
Now, we know he's dealing with a bad back and I believe a bad leg. And listening to the Cowboys pregame show yesterday while I was driving home, from the beach, they talked a lot about the Zach injuries. And it was not only that, but him trying to do so much and help. So he's got his assignment and the help that he's supposed to offer. And his battered state, they're asking too much of the guy. Which, and even a 60% Zach Martin is better than the replacement guy who's healthy. You look at that one play, and if there was one photo that sums up the Cowboys' offensive line play this year, and this includes Zach Martin, it's the touchdown pass that Dak threw to Rico, where he escaped a certain sack to throw that touchdown pass. And when you look at that play, every offensive lineman not named Tyler Smith was beaten badly. Everybody else was in the backfield and getting pushed around or just completely whiffed on their blocks. Say what you want about Dak Prescott, but his escapability is the only reason why they were able to get that touchdown play. That was an incredibly athletic play on his part because he had to avoid people on his own team that were just getting pushed around. It almost doesn't look fair. In some ways, this offensive line is playing so bad, it looks almost like a varsity going against a freshman team. And again, this is an Atlanta defensive front that's recorded basically no pressure all year. It's not like you were seeing Bosa again or T.J. Watt again. You kind of look at Terrence Steele and say, man, you've had a rough couple of weeks. Well, you're playing against 3 guys over the last 3 weeks, if you go back to Aiden Hutchinson before he got hurt, that, are potential Hall of Famers. Atlanta doesn't have that guy, yet they still dominated that piss-poor Dallas offensive line.
And I will say, that play you're talking about, the Rico Dowdle touchdown that Rico tried to blow, but that was one of the best plays I've seen Dak Prescott make this year because he was moving around. He did that a lot in game 1 against Cleveland. I thought it was brilliant, and they kind of went away from it. But he bought enough time for Rico to get open there, and it was a great play on Dak's part. The offensive line is bad, but then if you're the Houston Texans, you're probably going, man, I'd take that offensive line right now over ours because theirs is just awful. I don't even know that Houston is thinking that that's better. I mean, the Cowboys' offensive line is so bad. Dude, CJ got sacked 8 times. 8 times. Yeah, I still think the Houston O-line might actually be better. Oh, my gosh. No. They can at least run block.
If you look at all three phases, Houston actually does a decent job of run blocking.
Well, they have a running back.
They can't pass protect. But I mean, when you look at and of course Dak Prescott out probably several weeks because of the injury. They're discussing IR possibilities.
You might as well put him there. I mean, seriously.
But when you look at some of the issues, right? And Dak had an okay game yesterday, nothing special. And yet you look at his passing numbers, they weren't bad. And you look at a guy like, I don't know, Kevontae Turpin. Kevontae Turpin is a really good return man, although, dude, stay in bounds. I mean, how he steps out of bounds in that situation where you didn't really need to if you had football awareness, and that would have been a touchdown. I mean, when you saw that from the end zone angle, the all-22, that would have been a touchdown with his speed. But he's had 2 games in a row now with a perfect pass that hits him in the hands and he drops it. Can we just say that Kevontae Turpin is a really good return man, but we probably shouldn't try to make him a wide receiver?
Well, I don't think they have a choice, do they? Because the Jalens aren't doing much. You got Jalen Tolbert with 3 catches, Brooks with 2. They just don't have anybody else.
Well, again, maybe quit throwing the ball to Turpin, although I don't know how many targets did he have yesterday.
He had 4 targets. He caught 3 of them.
For 36 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, you look at the San Francisco game, that couldn't have been a better pass. And he had one yesterday. That couldn't have been a better pass. And he drops them. That pass that Jalen Brooks made with the defender there, that diving effort, shows signs. You know, Florney, I don't know what you got with that guy, but you just look at all of it. And, you know, it's easy to pile on Dak Prescott. I get it. And he certainly hasn't played well this year, and certainly not after signing that contract extension. But the reality is the offense is just so bad. The decision-making by the coaches and the discipline. I mean, you get 12 men on the field on offense, 10 men on the field on defense. You run a stupid fake punt.
Oh, my gosh.
You're in a 4th and 1 situation and you get a penalty, a pre-snap penalty. I mean, just everything about this team right now is a disaster.
Yeah, it really is. They just don't look organized. They don't look like there's any rhythm at all. 9 penalties yesterday for 55 yards. But just back to that fake punt. Now, I don't know what the hell. I mean, first of all, he's a good punter, but his arm is not so much.
That was a pretty pass.
Oh, sure. You think? It was about 5 yards too short, first of all, and the guy was covered.
Well, maybe he was supposed to run a comeback route.
Well, yeah, it was a terrible play to begin with. If you're going to try something like that, and I have no problem with him trying it, you might as well to try to get some kind of a spark, but that just seemed like a terrible it was a terrible effort, first and foremost, but it just seemed like the design of that play was just awful.
Well, see, and I'll go back to design and effort, situational awareness. I think all of that is there. If you're going to go for it in that situation, doesn't your play calling lead up to, because it kind of felt like that was part of their plan. Man, if we have anything we need to spark, this is what we're going to do. Why not leave the offense out there? Why not leave the offense out there and try to get the other team to jump off sides, right? Because that happens in situations like that. And again, Goodwin, was that supposed to be a comeback route? And apparently not knowing the rules, like looking for the pass interference penalty, like clearly they have to know the rules. You look like idiots when everybody's calling for a penalty when none can come on that play. All of it just seemed baffling. That Acho video, Acho on Twitter put out a video of Diggs, because again, Diggs challenging people last week about not knowing football. I don't think he could do that with Acho. But Diggs, high-priced, highly paid, probably the best guy on the team, on that touchdown that the Atlanta got, he was the only one seemingly confused, and his guy walked in for an easy touchdown.
I mean, just let him go. It's right there because Diggs didn't know what the hell he was supposed to be doing. And I'm glad a guy like Acho calls him out and does that because, the guy, look, yeah, he had a good year. Did he not? you would talk about Micah Parsons. That first year, was it his rookie year or his second year where he had all the interceptions?
Year one. Might have been year two.
But it was
It seems a long time ago.
It was feast or famine for him.
Sure.
Right? He'd either pick it off or he'd give up a long play. It was one of the two because he was being very aggressive, and you can live with that sometimes. But I don't know what's going on with him. Mike Leslie was right to call him out last week, and Acho was right to call him out this week.
Now, if he is playing with a tear in his calf,
then he shouldn't be playing.
Well, all these guys play through stuff. They're not 100%. But you can't use the calf injury on that busted coverage. It's not like he got beaten, couldn't keep up with the guy because he's got a bad wheel. You can almost live with that, and you appreciate the guy out there fighting through it to be able to play. That was a mental mistake that shouldn't happen with a veteran player and shouldn't happen with a veteran player of his caliber. And I don't even know if you could even come close to saying that's on Zimmer in this defensive scheme, although, watching the guy that didn't get the job in Ryan on TV this morning, I mean, I don't even know that Zim can tie his shoes right, according to Rex Ryan. But it is bad all the way around. I mean, it's reminiscent of when Mike Nolan was the defensive coordinator in Mike McCarthy's first season. Of course, that year was a disaster, so you kind of throw it all out the window, but it's historically bad.
It is historically bad. I'm going to give you that one because they were supposed to be historically good last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Could be.
Could be.
Keywords.
Whatever. They're historically bad. They're really bad. Now, Parsons is going to come back, it looks like. He's going to practice on Wednesday. So, that's going to help a pass rush. But you got a guy in Jalen Hurts that is a difficult guy to sack sometimes. So I don't know if even Micah Parsons coming back is going to solve the Cowboys' problems. And
No.
Saquon Barkley's got to be licking his chops.
That's the thing. With the Cowboys right now, getting a Micah Parsons back will help, but it doesn't solve the problems. It might make things a little bit more challenging for the Eagles. And the Eagles are a weird team, man. They are a weird team. They had a massive lead yesterday over a bad Jacksonville team, yet did some dumb stuff, like going for two when it was 16-0. They went for two.
Yes.
Instead of kicking the extra point to make it a 3-score game, they went for two.
Did he explain that in the postgame? If he did, I haven't heard. But
yeah, I haven't seen. But all of a sudden, the Eagles made that a game and had a chance to win it. And had they won that game, had Jacksonville came all the way back, we might be talking about two coaches getting fired today and not just one. And,
yes, you're right.
And when you look at the Eagles, while they're 6-2, they don't look like the dominant 6-2 team. And, I mean, because you can look around, and I know the old saying, you are what your record is, all that kind of stuff. But there are teams that look like it and other teams that you go, well, how in the hell did that happen? And Philly, they've got weapons, and Saquon doing incredible things. And, I mean, Saquon might run for 200 against the Cowboys. But will Nick Sirianni do something dumb that will give Cooper Rush the opportunity? Because when you go back and you think about, and we'll have all week to talk about this, when Cooper Rush has played, Mike McCarthy has come up with a game plan that's very beneficial for Cooper's skill set. He looked good yesterday as he came in the 2-minute, and that's been the best-looking offense that the Cowboys have had all year is when they're in their 2-minute. Whether it was a fourth quarter against San Francisco, their comeback win over Pittsburgh, when they're in that 2-minute, for whatever reason, they play well, and you saw that yesterday with Cooper Rush. The difference this time, though, is Cooper Rush has no run game to rely on.
That's it.
And you wonder, what can this Cowboys team do if they've got to rely on Cooper Rush's arm for 4 quarters?
Well, and that's, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. There's no run game to lean on. Dowdle, I thought he ran the football fairly well yesterday. But this is, and he ought to be able to have some success against Philadelphia, too. If he can get anything going, that's going to help Cooper Rush. And the good news with Cooper Rush, you don't have to simplify the game plan all that much with him. He's a veteran guy. He's been around the system for a while, so you don't have to dumb things down for him. But he still needs a little help. And If CeeDee Lamb can't go this week and you've got to rely on Jalen's and Turpin's and Ferguson's, then he's in deep trouble. Yeah.
It's going to be brutal.
Could be.
And then, of course, the trade deadline is tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
If you're the Cowboys, you play Jerry Jones. Are you buying or selling as you get ready for the trade deadline tomorrow? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential, or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau, and they are green certified. It's the 4th of November. If you haven't had your heater tuned up yet, make sure you get that done before we actually need it, which at this point is going to be sooner rather than later. Call Quartermoon, 210-651-5899. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Settling in after 2 on the road. The Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio. For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
Call 656 Pure Connecticut.
Aaron Lewis and the State Liners. Country boy is all I'll ever be. The American As It Gets Tour. February 6th, Majestic Theater. Am I the only one? Tickets on sale now at majesticempire.com. Take a bullet for being more free. At aaronlewismusic.com. I'm American as it Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners, American as it gets tour.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott reportedly will miss multiple weeks after he suffered a hamstring injury in their loss to the Atlanta Falcons yesterday. CeeDee Lamb has a sprained AC joint. He does have an opportunity to play on Sunday. San Antonio Spurs without Gregg Popovich indefinitely, according to ESPN's Shams Charania, due to health issues. And Le'Veon Moss, the A&M running back, out for the season.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's the birthday boy, Joe Reinagel. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. And again, thanks to everybody
A lot
on
of
YouTube.
people. A lot of people.
You're Jason Minix.
I am Jason
Yeah,
Minix.
that's you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a little surprised it's 5:01 and nobody has sent you balloons yet.
Nobody. No balloons. That's all right.
You wanted balloons.
It's the thought that counts. Somebody saying, man, I wish I could send Reinagel some balloons.
Well, you're full of hot air. I'm surprised you didn't get a bunch of them.
Oh.
Got your birthday present yesterday with the Cowboys losing.
I don't wish the Cowboys any ill will. I just think I don't.
Man, who have I been listening to for the last 3 years or so?
I think they've been making, some boneheaded moves. Like,
Yes.
I don't know, signing a guy that's obviously done to the biggest contract in NFL history.
Obviously done.
Maybe not done, but on the backside.
He's 31.
Exactly.
He's nowhere near the
Poor
backside.
guy takes a couple of steps and, I got a pulled hammy.
Hey, I'm an idiot. Sounds like Joe Reinagel.
Exactly. But, I'm about 30 years older than Dak.
A little more than that.
Well,
today's your birthday.
Couple of years. So, a pulled hammy for me is okay. But Jerry was right. I wish people would start giving him a little credit. He said he didn't want Dak running because he'd get hurt. And guess what happened?
Well, he hurt himself technically in the pocket, although maybe it started on the run right before he threw that pass.
Got to get it looked at. Felt it, I guess the third play that I was in there on the little scramble to the left. Felt it, didn't think much of it, to be honest with you. And then the next play, throwing that the stop route to the field, pulled something. I guess felt a pull or felt something I've never felt. Tough to walk on it at that point. Saw the medical team and asked, could I make it worse? At that point, they said I wouldn't be able to protect myself, and they made the call to hold me out.
Yeah, and I think was the right call, obviously, because the MRI today obviously showed something that they didn't like.
It's worse than originally thought.
Yeah, so if it's a tear or something serious like that, would not surprise me, honestly. And I kind of expected at this point in time that Dak's going to go on the IR.
You know, he'll have to miss at least 4 games if that is the case. Here's the crazy thing. We all can have our theories on what Dak should do. But I think we've all watched Dak Prescott enough to know that he'll battle through things, and he does seem to heal fast unless his bone is completely shattered and coming out of his leg. But outside of that, most of his injuries, the original timetable, he has beat that original timetable. So, and he's had some weird injuries. It's weird. I don't think he's had a hamstring, and certainly not like this. But Dak wants to be out there. He talked about that yesterday, and you know that he'll do what he can to get out there. You just almost wonder if it's worth it. And I say that at this point with the loss yesterday to Atlanta, and I know Philadelphia coming up being a division game, and they've got a lot of those left, but it feels like this season is already over, and most didn't expect them to be a playoff team this year. They're certainly not a Super Bowl team. Jerry's actions over the offseason tells me this season was never about winning, and we talked about that. They did nothing to improve their roster or fix the issues that they had last year, this year. They've got a roster that isn't as talented as last year, although a lot more expensive. So if this year isn't about winning and it's about playing a lot of the young guys, getting their experience, with the trade deadline tomorrow, with yesterday's loss, I don't see any reason why the Cowboys should try to invest in this roster and give up draft capital that they covet so much when this year is done. If anything, look at who you can trade tomorrow. If you were like, I don't know. If somebody calls and they've got a question and there's somebody they want, if the deal is right, you got to make that move if you're Jerry Jones.
It has to be right, though. But again, if you're looking at the Cowboys and you're Mike McCarthy, you got the Eagles this week, you got the Texans the following week, and you got the Commanders on the road after that. So if you're Mike McCarthy, you've got to sell that locker room as, look, we got these guys coming up. We're going head-to-head with these guys, and we still have an opportunity to make all of our dreams come true. It's in our hands right now. I know it's bad, 3-5, but we got the Eagles and the Commanders coming up, and then the Giants after that. So 3 of the next 4 division games. So you've got to keep a hold of that locker room. You start giving guys away, unless it's a hell of a deal, then I think you start to lose that locker room. Now, that may already be happening. You got Ezekiel Elliott, who's causing all kinds of problems, although sounded like today Mike McCarthy and Zeke have talked and everything's okay because he will be out there this week. But you got to be able to hang on. You got the Eagles this week. If you can somehow miraculously win that game, then you're back on track to some degree and you continue to sell. If they lose it, well, then that's a different story.
Well, and I'm almost with you. I mean, now you see the comments out of the New Orleans locker room yesterday. That felt like a lost locker room, and Dennis Allen got fired this morning.
Yes.
The Cowboys don't appear anywhere near that. But at the same time, all the pros in there know that they've still got to put good tape out there.
Yeah.
So you wonder. Jerry, he can tell us that he believes that a turnaround can happen.
We came in here thinking we could win that ball game. That's a team that we could beat. It's obvious mistakes, those kinds of things against any team in the NFL can do you in. This is not a good time. I really regret this for all of our Dallas Cowboy fans. Will tell you this, that I've been around. I've seen Michael Irvin tear up and cry when he couldn't lose anybody because he's just recovering from knee surgery. Yet his ass came back and led a team to 3 Super Bowls. I know you can be there if you're there. That room's full of guys that can get it done. I believe in them, coaches and all.
Coaches and all.
Mm-hmm.
See, that was an interesting comment right there. Coaches and all. I can't imagine a scenario, unless the Cowboys went out, that Mike McCarthy keeps his job at the end of the season. I can't.
I'm with you. So as I say this, just realize I'm playing devil's advocate.
All right.
Seasons like this are, I think, one of the reasons Jason Garrett hung on for so long is he didn't blame the losses on the coach. He knows he's put together a piss-poor roster, and he also knows Jerry's not going to fire Jerry. And there's nothing you can do about injuries, and they've had a lot of injuries, and now your quarterback is out. And Jerry does not seem to hold coaches accountable for that. Now, where I would say he's got no shot at keeping his job, even if they win out, is crap like we saw yesterday. That's all on the coach, like a stupid 4th-and-1 fake punt, like having 12 men on the field or 10 men on the field, depending on which error you want to point at. Just the undisciplined nature in which this team is playing. And let's face it, this high-powered offense, nowhere near the levels that we saw a year ago. And a year ago, it took a while to get going, but when it did, it was clicking. Where's that offense been? When you get guys like Dan Orlovsky on TV talking about the lack of creativity and this old style of this offense, where's the newer version? Has Mike McCarthy evolved as the play caller as football has changed? You listen to Orlovsky, the answer is no.
Well, I have to believe, though, you've got 2 rookies on that offensive line you didn't have last year. That's making a difference. You had a Tony Pollard, and for whatever you want to say about Tony Pollard, he was 1,000-yard rusher
leading the league with yards after contact right now.
And so, I mean, you had some weapons to work with, and Dak had more time and weapons to work with.
So what I'm saying, though, is will Jerry hold Mike responsible for what he took away from Mike McCarthy as the general manager?
The difference is, I think, is that he's got to sign him to a new contract. And what does he do with that? How many years, if you decided you wanted to keep him and not blame him for all this, what do you do? Is it another 3, 4, 5? I mean, how many years do you sign this guy to?
It's Jerry keeping his options open right now.
Sure.
And Jerry is, if he could go get, I don't know, a Ben Johnson, would he do that? Can he replace Mike McCarthy with somebody better? And if he could do that, I think that's done. If he can't do that, I think Mike might keep his job at this point. But I don't think that we'll get resolution on his status until we find out if his key card still works or not. I mean, it's kind of like Jason Garrett all over again.
I don't see it happening. I just don't.
Because me neither, to be honest.
It doesn't look like this team is going to – I mean, if they win a couple of more ball games this year, it would be surprising, to be totally honest with you. So – I just don't see how you keep a guy like that, a guy that you were already disappointed in with that failure in the playoffs last year. It's the reason he didn't get an extension coming into this season. I don't see it happening.
100% agree. And trade deadline, either sell, but don't do anything because we don't know if the new coach is going to want that guy.
Exactly.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And don't give up draft picks. You're going to need them. Let's talk with Jeff Traylor. You talk about a guy that is taking a team dealing with a lot of injuries and a lot of negativity and going out and kicking the ass of Memphis on Saturday. What a win for UTSA. Let's talk about it coming up here with Jeff Traylor on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Well, depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we're dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later, just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. As we all thought it was going to happen, UTSA steamrolls Memphis in the Alamo Dome on a Saturday afternoon. Let's talk about it with Jeff Traylor, head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners. Coach, joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. I saw a photo of you online after the game, and I couldn't tell if you were excited or relieved in that photo. I would imagine a little bit of both.
Yeah, we, like I had said before, at least we knew who we had for the game. So even though we lost our entire secondary against Tulsa, the kids we had back that were going to play got to work all week. So the ones that get you, like in pregame, when Willie McCoy, probably our best receiver, can't make it because he had his baby on all the days, we're playing Memphis. And then Robert Henry, our tailback, breaks his thumb in pregame catching a kickoff. I text Kerry and I said, look, baby, we played home 29 times and we've won most of them. This might be the first time I get booed today. Like, we are literally out of kids, so don't be shocked at the home crowd. So our kids just played incredibly above their heads. and so proud of them the way they competed and beat a very, very good Memphis team.
Yeah, Jeff, I've got to ask you, because when Memphis took the lead, I think it was 24-14. What did you say to your team at that point, or what was the mood on the sideline there? Because it seemed from that point on, UTSA took control of that football game.
Well, it was really misleading again, which a lot has happened to our defense this year. It's just put it all on me, bad coaching, but a lot of it's just very unfortunate. The interference call on Cyrus Dumas, I thought the kid made a great play. That led to one touchdown as a third down call. Then, Danye hitting the quarterback when they slide like that, that's just tough on defense's third down call again. So I really felt good, even though we'd given up 14. I thought we had played really good defense. They're really good. 24-14, third down and a lot, and Owen scrambles, and he gets us to the 37. And that's right where we felt comfortable letting Tate go out there and try it. And when he made that kick to make it 24-17, and then we scored right before halftime, that was one of those, middle eight moments we all talk about as coaches that I think was big in the game.
Jeff Traylor joining us here on the Blitz after UTSA knocks off Memphis on Saturday, keeping those bowl hopes alive. And, Joe talks about 24-14. It's tied 24 at halftime. Second half, you guys don't commit a penalty in the second half, which your team's collected a lot of yellow flags all season. How do you go a half with mistake-free football?
Being at home helps. Our crowd, who I'm very grateful for showing up at an 11 o'clock kick in the rain when I know we disappointed a lot of people this year, got them to jump off sides quite a bit, which is what we deal with on the road because of the noise. And that helped in staying on side. Defensively, we were very sound. I wish I had the magic answer for you. We'd do it every week, but that was definitely big. We had no turnovers. We had no sacks. Owen's passing percentages were down this week because he threw the ball away 4 times, which is a huge learning step for a young quarterback. And we had very, very, very few minus plays in the game, and we played really well. Special teams, we were very solid. Other than the hands team debacle, we were as good all around the special teams and defense and offense we have been all year.
Jeff, what is a win like that? Because obviously Memphis, and I don't think anybody, including the 2 yahoos that are talking to you right now, thought that UTSA was going to win this game this weekend. What does a win like that for your program do for this football team?
I just think it really resonates to everybody, the power of belief and hanging in there. I've always taught them since the first day I had them. Preparing, stacking days, integrity, passion, win the day, trust the process. All of our words, right? Every coach has really got them, right? It doesn't guarantee you a victory. It just guarantees you won't have one if you don't stay together. And I was just glad for my kids because, how many times I've answered very good media questions. Can your team survive another loss like that one? And I'm to my own self, I'm going, I don't know if we can survive this. We're going to splinter at some point. But our senior leadership, those kids have not splintered. They have stayed together the entire season. And I couldn't speak more highly of how they just hung together through arguably, in my career, 20 years as a head coach, the most difficult one, and for sure the most difficult one in our 5 years here together.
Jeff Traylor, UTSA head football coach, joining us here on the Blitz. The bye week coming seemingly at a great time with the guys that you have left. They get a chance to heal up and get that extra week of work as you look at just 3 games left. You need 2 more wins to get that bowl game. And I know getting to a bowl is a big deal for every program because you get that extra practice, which with a young team is so necessary, is it not?
And I really like my seniors. I really want to be around them more. How it's just one of those weeks, right? We go to practice there Friday at the Alamo Dome. We gather up in our triangle, finish up our practice. Like we have the offense on 1/3 of it, defense on 1/3 of it, special teams on 1/3 of it. Straight, corny, goofy Jeff Traylor stuff, right? So I'm about done talking to my kids, and Andrew Acosta, who's our DFO, comes up to me. He's like, Coach, we got to get everybody on bus 1. On bus 2, you got a flat on the tire on bus 1, so we'll all have to ride together back to the hotel. So we're like, man, that's going to be a bunch of us on a couple of buses, right? But, it made me get on the defensive bus. And I sat beside Brandon Brown, my nose guard, and beside him was Christian Clayton, my senior defensive tackle, and just got to shoot the bull with them for 20 minutes. And it did remind me those guys are going to be gone here soon. And I'd love to get in a bowl game with them. To y'all's point, for the young kids, but, man, I just want to be around my old heads that have won us so many games, so many championships here. I just want to be around them more. And we're still in the hunt, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah, no doubt, and that's huge, and that's got to give you a boost of confidence moving forward. Now, other than heal up, what will you do over the bye week, Coach?
Yeah, well, that's the number one deal. Of the 18 that were out Saturday, 12 are done for the season. So there's not a lot we can do with those guys except stay in touch with them, make them feel included, which is always tough when you've been, you're not a part of the playing roster anymore. The other 6, I'd say there's a chance 3 or 4 of those guys could be back. That would be huge. And then can we get, our O-line is really beat up. Our left tackle and our right guard and our right tackle have been limping forever. We need to get them a week to get fresh. We've got some young guys who are going to step up and help us now, some freshmen that have not played yet. They've got their 4 games left. We've tried to redshirt all those kids to get them to next year. And we've got some things we got to clean up still. The hands team debacle. We lost Oscar, and Oscar was the one, that was supposed to be fielding that ball there. So we got to get that cleaned up. And then the right side, we didn't execute it on the second onside kick very well. So we've got things we've got to still work on for sure. And we're playing the number 1 quarterback in the country in North Texas is Chandler Morris. I worked for his dad. I've known Chandler literally his entire life. He is a modern-day little Johnny Manziel running around out there.
Well, he is. And, of course, Eric Morris coaching there at North Texas was here at Incarnate Word. And, I mean, that's going to be an interesting game. You get 2 weeks for it. Now, you also mentioned healing up. I saw on Twitter you got to heal up yourself. You burned yourself making eggs yesterday?
Well, I was giving an analogy. They asked today, why Owen's doing a better job of getting the ball gone and not getting sacked right now. And I said, well, it's kind of like, I thought, since I won, Care Bear might make me some eggs Sunday morning, but she decided she was going to do something different. So I decided to just jump in there, cook my own eggs, right? So when I got them over there to the side, I thought the pan would be cooled off by then. Then I started washing it. That sucker was still pretty hot, right? So when you get burned and you get hurt, you learn some things. And Owen, I was making a silly analogy. Owen, did a good job of getting rid of the ball. He's tired of getting burned back there. So that's one of my silly analogies that I dove off into.
Well, it happens to all of us, Coach. On a personal note, I want to talk about your son. How is have you heard from him since they let go of the head coach today? Is he okay?
I have. He's pretty shook up. He's having his first son Thursday. Welcome to coaching, right?
Yeah.
You don't know if you got a job, and you got to take care of a wife and a child. So it's very unfortunate. Coach Allen has treated my son very well, and Jordan's been there for 7 years, I believe, or 6. It's a long time. That's just part of this business. We all know when we sign up, man, we're hired to be fired. Most of us don't get to ride off in the sunset. We get told when to go home, and he's grown up watching it. What did Bum Phillips always say? There's 2 kinds of coaches, right? Them that's been fired and them that's going to be. So Jordan might be in that count right now. We'll find out.
Same with the radio guys. That's how it goes. Now, congratulations. You're going to be a grandpa again. With the bye week, are you heading down to New Orleans on Thursday?
I am. We're practicing Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm getting my guys out of here, my players. They got academics, but they're going to get them off from football Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll practice again Sunday night. So I'm going to fly out right after practice Wednesday. Carrie and I are to get down there to be there. They induce her Wednesday night, so Mickey Jacob should be on the scene, Thursday or Friday, or unless he comes early, the Lord willing. So we're excited. Obviously, this is our first grandchild, and we'll try to get his mind off of his job and get his mind focused on Sierra and Mickey Jacob.
Absolutely, because you got the win, you get to smile. You're going to be a grandpa for the first time, and life is good for Jeff Traylor.
I don't know. The season's kind of got me. I really thought we'd be 6-2 when Memphis coming to town. I thought they'd be 7-1, and we'd have maybe a top 25 game, not just them being top 25. But those 1 point, not 1 point losses, but those one possession losses on the road, just they're going to be heavy for us to overcome. Can we beat this really good North Texas team? And it's heavy. But yes, I am very grateful. You know how much we love San Antonio, and happy to become a grandparent. So I appreciate you guys mentioning that. Thank y'all.
Well, I'm just happy that you took care of that FedEx money, Coach. You know, the heck with those guys.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I'm going to stay quiet. I am not. My goal is to stay off Barstool Sports and just fly low, man. Fly low.
We could just kind of stretch this out to you. I mean, I'm with you, but I mean, huge win, and you know what? That underscores something. First ever UTSA win over a ranked opponent. Memphis came in at number 25.
That was great. I didn't know that we had never done that. So another one of those bucket list things. It's one of the cool things about playing at a school that's only been playing football 14 seasons. But you would thought with all those wins we've had the last 5 years, we would have got one of those. And I guess we find out we didn't. That's why it's great to have Kyle Stevens around to keep us informed. Tate Sandell broke a school record, 54-yard field goal. Jamal Ligon became the all-time lead tackler in the history of our school, surpassing the great Rashad Wisdom. So, it was a really good day. And I've said this, I'm so grateful. We were pulling up. We had to cancel our walkthrough because of the rain, the walk outside. We walk into the Alamo Dome. Probably 100 UTSA fans all out there, their rain gear on, birds up, still cheering for those kids, man. Those 20,000 that were there, those are probably the 20,000 that were there when y'all started. And they'll be there no matter what happens to this program. And we're really grateful for those 20,000.
Yeah, but we got to continue to grow. I like seeing the pre-snap penalties on Memphis with the smaller crowd, because if you've been in the Dome, you know it's going to be loud in there, whether
Always
it's 20,000 or 40 or 60.
Well, Sosa does a really good job too. Now they've learned how to make that place rock in there. We're really grateful for that band and our cheerleaders and Palm Squad. And I think just how we've just kind of learned how to make that a really great home field environment. When you're 27-3 now, I think it's like the 5th or 6th best in the country. We're like 15 or 14 or 16-2 in the month of November. There's just a lot of positive things here. And we just got to quit thinking about those 3 one-possession losses on the road, and maybe one day I will.
Enjoy your weekend, Coach.
Well, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. I know y'all are as frustrated as we have been, but y'all been so supportive, and we're grateful. God bless and birds up.
God bless, birds up. Coach Jeff Traylor on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. See, next Monday when Coach is on, we'll find out if he actually had to change a diaper.
Of course he's going to have to change a diaper.
You're a grandpa. You get out of that stuff.
Well, you try.
I mean,
sometimes it's not always the case,
No, I
though.
mean, you realize it needs to be changed. You hand it off.
It depends on if it's number 1 or number 2.
It
I
doesn't
can
matter
handle
to-
the number 1. The number 2, somebody else can handle that. And see, I never knew this because all girls, that I raised, but now I've got a grandson. You take that diaper off, you better be careful.
You got to cover that thing.
Well, you do, because there's that thing is, it might shoot without warning.
It might, huh?
It might.
You sound like you got sprayed in the face.
No, but I'm.
It missed?
No, it didn't miss, but I'm careful. I'm careful. I haven't changed that many diapers. I'll be totally honest with you.
I don't think anybody listening is surprised.
And my grandson now is, he's about 80% potty trained. So
is this the one you had by yourself?
Yes.
Last week?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I need a floater.
No floaters for me, pledge. Because they don't float in that diaper. They just smash.
Oh, stop.
Woo-wee.
Come on, Reinagel.
Yeah, no. Somebody else can do that.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's master of the handoff.
See, I could say something really bad and get all the women upset, but I won't. I'll just leave it at that.
What?
No, I'm not. I was having a very male chauvinist moment.
Again, I don't know that anybody would be surprised.
Probably not.
Master of the handoff.
Yeah. You ain't kidding. It's like, here, Casey.
Yeah.
It smells.
Oh, look. Man, Maggie, I don't know. It was clean 5 minutes ago. I knew
Exactly.
you walked in the door to that.
Exactly.
I have no idea. It must have just happened.
Just happened.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, you get out of that quick. But Coach Traylor, he's probably got a game plan for that.
The master of the handoff.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's probably got different plays, whether it's a dive play, a toss sweep, whatever it might be.
Run the football, Coach.
That's it. Hand it
Run
off.
the football.
Hand it off.
You like Mahomes or Baker tonight?
Mahomes.
Yeah, they're 9-point favorites. Even with the 9-point favorite.
9 is a lot.
It's a lot, isn't it?
9 is a lot. Let's talk about that. Plus
Wow.
the Spurs. Still no update on Pop. We'll give you the latest on what we know if you're just tuning in at 5:34. Pop out indefinitely with some sort of health issue. So we'll tell you what we know coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need your logo on a golf shirt, a fishing shirt, a dress shirt, a half zip, whatever it is, Sam will get you taken care of. He has all the big name brands and nobody has better prices. Maybe you need t-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. If you need caps, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. He's got the Katie caps, Nike Cap America. Sammy is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, certainly no order too small. All items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, about a mile inside Loop 410, next to the Big Lots across from McDonald's. Or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Huddle, how did the Spurs fare in their road trip out to L.A.?
Further fallout from the Cowboys' loss. We'll talk about it all, but you got to get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
Divorce is a fight. If you don't want to get knocked out of the ring by your spouse, then you need an aggressive law firm with a stable of hard-hitting attorneys at your disposal. Contact Barton & Associates today. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. A free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best tasting water you've ever had. Better for your coffee maker, better for cooking, better for everything. Free with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, but only for a limited time.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home.
All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Kinetico uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
And is the last water softener you'll ever own. Right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking water station when you buy a Kinetico water softener. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at KineticoSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Kinetico.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first and buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This is Game Night San Antonio on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Marcel, step back three. Oh!
Every game night, the Blitz with Jason and Joe get you inside and ready for tonight's game.
Johnson! Oh, my goodness!
Players, coaches, insiders. This is Game Night San Antonio.
Wembanyama!
And the pregame starts right now.
Spurs in Los Angeles. They take on the Clippers tonight. It is Game Night San Antonio here on the Blitz. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. And I think the story going in isn't about who's on the floor. It's who's not going to be on the bench for the San Antonio Spurs. Gregg Popovich is out indefinitely with a health issue. And there's very little info coming out from the Spurs organization, which has led to a lot of speculation and rampant rumors on the internet.
There's no question about it, because it's that word indefinite. So you're talking about a 75-year-old coach, appears to be in good shape, but he is 75 years old. And when you're talking about an indefinite absence, when I heard that he was out on Saturday night, I was like, well, okay, that's weird. Because Pop would have to be pretty sick if it was just some sort of an illness to miss that. I think a cold or something like that, he would have probably been out there. And I think, but it is the word indefinite, and that's what concerns me more than anything. Definitely missing tonight, and he'll miss the game in Houston. Hopefully he'll be back when they come back home.
Now, all the Spurs announced officially. Spurs PR said that Pop will not travel with the team on the current road trip to Los Angeles and Houston. That is all that the organization has officially released. Shams Charania is the one reporting indefinitely and the health scare, the health issues. And again, according to Shams, Pop suffered a health issue before Saturday's game. Now, I know you were at Kickapoo celebrating your birthday on Saturday. I was at the beach. But like you, we're getting text messages, Pop not coaching tonight, but ill. And nobody overly concerned about it. So you thought maybe it was a cold or stomach or whatever. I mean, you're missing a game, but nobody seemed overly concerned.
Right.
Reporters that we all seem to follow that were covering the game last night didn't seem overly concerned by anything that they had heard from Spurs staffers. Although, when you see the line from Shams, suffered a health issue before Saturday's game, that obviously leads to a lot of speculation. And I know Gregg Popovich is a very private person, but when you're in the public eye and, I don't know, the coach of an NBA team and people care about you, they want to know you're going to be okay. The Spurs don't have to release anything specific, but they could say, yep, he had something, and doctors say he might miss this, that, or whatever. Because indefinite, man, that just seems
like a long time.
Indefinite.
Yeah, like a long time, right? Yeah, that's the problem with it. And and this is probably coming from Pop himself. He's that kind of guy. He's always been that kind of guy. Doesn't want to draw attention to himself, but he's got to know that, look, he's been the coach of this team, obviously, for a very long time. People love Gregg Popovich. They want to make sure he's a member of that team, and people want to make sure that he's okay. So the concern for Gregg Popovich is legit, and it just seems to me that not to us or TV folks, but to the fans, the Spurs owe it to the fans to get that word out and say, hey, Pop's going to be okay, or Pop's doing this. We hope to have him back here.
It's a level of concern, and quite frankly, we're all in a world where we want to know everything. And I mean, again, you and I for damn near 30 years have covered this basketball team. And so we know a lot of people. We both have heard from a lot of people today, all with some surprisingly very different, boy, I know. And it feels like everybody seems to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and this is what they are saying. And none of it is to the point where either you or I would go on the radio and repeat any of these, because I don't want to contribute to the rumors. But that, to me, is part of the reason why the Spurs should be a little bit more open about what is going on.
I agree. But, boy, I know you've been talking about this. It's the same chorus, just another verse. I mean, it's kind of the way the Spurs are. They circle the wagons, and it's almost like them against everybody else when something like this happens. And they got to know that people want to know that Gregg Popovich, how he's doing, he's going to be okay. And, I hope they know that everything's all right. But, yeah, it would be nice to have a little bit more information at this point in time.
Well, and then maybe, and again, speculating, and I hate it, but maybe what you just said is part of the problem. They don't know that he's going to be all right. And anytime you're dealing with somebody that's 75 years old, even though he's in great shape, I mean, we all know a lot of 70-year-olds and people that are pushing 80, and I'll just use my mother as an example. She can't barely walk across the room without complaining of being in a lot of pain.
Right.
I watch Gregg Popovich, the way he acts, the way he works out. I hope I'm in that kind of shape when I'm 75.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just had a birthday, or today's your birthday. You're a little bit closer to that, but I hope you are in that kind of shape, still doing this at 75. But it's always a concern.
Sure it is, of course. I mean, none of us know what's around the corner, so you just don't. So, look, I think I speak for everybody, and I don't care if you agree with Pop on issues or you don't. It doesn't matter. He's a human being. He's led this team, and I wish nothing bad. I wish him nothing but the best and a speedy recovery.
Well, and that's the other part. My God, the internet can be a cesspool at times.
Oh, it really can, yeah.
And again, I know the election is tomorrow. I don't care if you agree or disagree with Gregg Popovich. Some of the things that I've seen you guys tweet today, because of his political beliefs, one way or the other. Dude, that's like rooting for injuries.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
You can't do that. That's just bad. And it's way too early to start thinking about who the next head coach is going to be.
Well,
again,
way too early.
By all accounts, he'll be back soon. We just don't know how soon because the Spurs refuse to give us any kind of detail. They let these rumor wildfires spread.
They just let them go. Pop just signed a new deal.
That doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't.
He gets a new deal every time he wants one.
He did that to give the young players the feeling that he wasn't going anywhere, right? That he was going to stick around here and complete this rebuild. And so I think which is another reason. I mean, he made the players feel like, he's not going anywhere. Well, hey, it's kind of the same thing with the fans out here at this point in time.
That's it. I agree. And you look as far as the game goes tonight, which almost seems very, very secondary.
It does.
And quite frankly, it's Spurs and Clippers tonight. It's late. So I certainly appreciate that because Monday Night Football, I'm actually more interested in seeing what all they show us of that new building, that arena the Clippers play in, than I am about anything else.
Yeah. Well, and look, this is a great game for the Spurs. They've got a great opportunity to win this game. And Mitch Johnson will do a great job. I mean, he did Saturday night, did a great job. He'll do a great job up there against the Clippers and then again in Houston. But the Spurs have a golden opportunity to get over 500 tonight with a win, even though the Clippers, for whatever reason I can't figure out, are actually 3.5-point favorites going into this game. But the Spurs have a great opportunity to get the W up in L.A. tonight.
Spurs are 3-3. The Clippers are 2-4. And maybe they're favored just because they're home. I think they were favored before we got the news that Pop was officially out. And again, Saturday night, nobody seemed overly concerned. None of us knew he didn't get on the plane. And credit the Spurs organization for being so airtight that nobody mentioned that Pop wasn't on that plane. They certainly understand the organization that they play for. They get out to Los Angeles and nobody bothers to say, yeah, Pop wasn't on the plane. He's not going to be there.
Crazy. I just remember the days when, especially in the playoffs, they're waiting for the bus, and Pop was always the first guy out.
Sure.
So there was never any question. We'll continue to follow the story for sure. And in the meantime, best of luck to Pop and best of luck to the Spurs tonight against those Clips.
As far as Monday Night Football tonight, Chiefs and Buccaneers. You can listen to that here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. I look at tonight's game. Kansas City's going to win. But that 9-point line, I don't know. I don't know that part of me doesn't want to touch it because I think Kansas City's got the ability to blow this game open because I look at Tampa Bay and the receivers that they don't have available for Baker Mayfield.
Well, and that's a problem. So they're going to try and run the football, obviously. That's the key to any game against Kansas City. Try to keep that Patrick Mahomes fella on the sideline as much as you can. The problem is the best part of that Kansas City team these days is their defense. Mm-hmm. It's a solid defense.
One of the best defenses in the NFL.
But I contend, and I'm not saying it's going to be tonight, but at some point in time, Kansas City's not going to go unbeaten. It just doesn't happen anymore, especially 17-game schedule. Somebody's going to beat them.
Sure.
Maybe it's Tampa tonight, maybe it's not, but somebody's going to beat this football team. And I just think that most teams have played the Chiefs close. I'm a gambler. I'll probably be taking the points tonight.
I mean, if I were to put money, I'd probably lean that way. I keep watching the pregame to see what the weather looks like in Kansas City because I figure that might factor in, especially with Patrick Mahomes, although it looks like it's a pretty nice day, not that crap that they were playing yesterday in Green Bay between that Green Bay and Detroit game.
Well, those uniforms Green Bay wears are just god-awful.
Well, they are always. There's
awful.
The same thing without a G on the side of that.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Our good buddy Evan Klosky, who works in Tampa at the CBS affiliate there, just tweeted this out. He said the Buccaneers wide receiver room tonight: Trey Palmer, Sterling Shepard, Ryan Miller, Raheem Jarrett, and Marquez Callaway. So they're your wide receivers that Baker Mayfield has to target tonight.
He had better wide receivers at Lake Travis.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, you got a lot of folks out, a lot of inactives for the Bucs tonight.
Which makes me, again, 9 points. Andy Reid, they get a nice lead. They start running the ball.
Yeah.
And so if you've got Patrick Mahomes as your fantasy quarterback, this might not be the night. Although Jason Kelsey in the building.
He's already apologized.
He's apologized for his comments yesterday. In fact, he started the pregame show with the apology saying, quote, "In a heated moment, I decided to greet hate with hate. I fell short this week." And by now you've all seen him take the kid's phone and smash it for what the kid said.
Said about his brother is my understanding.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen the video?
Well, I've seen the video, but I didn't
called
hear
his
what
brother
he said.
a slur for being with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And he said, who's the now? Again, not the best look, obviously, for Jason Kelce, and he's owning up to it. And Taylor Swift, I mean, she played her final U.S. concert on this Era store last night in Indianapolis, so I fully expect her to be in the building tonight. I fully expect we'll get at least 8 looks of her in the suite there tonight.
Which is not a bad thing. You say that's a bad thing.
Travis Kelce doesn't lose when Taylor's in the building. So, I mean, if you're looking to lay money, yeah, Taylor Swift's probably worth 3.5 points right there.
So you'd lay the 9? Is that what you're telling me? Kansas City wins this by 10 or more? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Minix?
I don't have a good feeling on this game either way. Straight up, I like Kansas City. Points,
well, sure.
I'm not touching this thing.
I'm taking Tampa Bay, just you all know, plus the 9.
What's the over-under? I'll go find some of the more fun things there.
I think it's 42 is what I want to say. And I don't see this being a high-scoring game.
Especially in the rain. Light rain.
Yeah.
63 degrees. It's going to get colder, not windy at all.
Perfect night for football in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Have some barbecue and be ready to go.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tomorrow's the trade deadline.
It sure is.
We'll talk about whatever happens tomorrow. I don't know if anything else is going on in the world tomorrow, so make sure you're tuned in here for the latest on the trade deadline and what the Cowboys do or don't do. Rob and AJ get you going tomorrow morning on the Morning Huddle at 6 a.m. We're back tomorrow at 2. Extra innings with Pledge next on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports